edition with celebrity cameos.
All this
80 fucking episodes, oh my god.
Kiss
With water in his basement and 31 flavors.
Arliss.
But the SSR's dollar signs, oh my god. Will and Chief Gold and Robert Wuhl.
Fist.
Bacon and eggs and double fried hash
Can't
browns.
touch this.
Hammer don't hunt him with their super duper pants.
Arliss.
SSR dollar signs, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Episode 11, The Art of Give and Take. And it is starting.
Okay.
I noticed a few people in the chat talking about Draft Day. I believe that's one that I rated
Oh wow.
for this jurisdiction.
Now that's a football movie, right, Andrew?
It is largely a football movie, I think.
Has a lot in common with our list. Now, I want to bring up something that I remember very vividly.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to ask for your perspective on this. The movie Draft Day. Let me get these details right. In the American rating system, you are allowed one non-sexual use of the word "fuck," and you are still able to remain PG-13. But if the word "fuck" is applied in a sexual context or modified to become more intense, you automatically get an R rating. Same for if you use the word more than once. Now, the star of that movie, and don't ask how I know this, the star of that movie, Kevin Big Swinging Dick Costner, was very, very adamant about a scene where he felt like his character should call someone a motherfucker, which a motherfucker is an immediate R. If you throw the mother in there as a qualifier, it's an immediate R. And he felt so strongly about it that he refused to give a single take in which he didn't say motherfucker. And then it was submitted to the Motion Picture Association of America. They gave it an R, and it was one of the few times in recent history where a rating was reversed and repealed without any edits being made. There were several additional hearings where they made the case for it still being an appropriate movie for young people, and so motherfucker was allowed in with a PG-13 rating. Now, do you remember this being a conflict at all in Canada, or is your culture less sensitive than ours?
I wouldn't necessarily say we're less sensitive, but it wasn't a conflict. I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
The rating, at least the area that I was doing it for, it's different each province.
Yes. Oh, wow.
So it's the same overall structure, but
Yeah.
there's different boards and
Wow.
slightly different
Wow.
rules for each one.
Wow.
And it's a publicly, like a public organization,
Yes.
as opposed to being part of the industry regulating itself.
Wow.
So then the other level of that is that it's instead of being the MPAA just enforcing it within the industry, it's a law. So like the R rating is like enforceable on the theaters, not just the theaters policing themselves.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so they're greater repercussions. Now, do you remember?
But there's also more flexibility within the ratings, at least where I was.
Do you feel like, not do you feel like, you know this for a fact, is like the cursing, is that as much of an ironclad, no exceptions rule in the province you were working for, or is it more a case-by-case basis?
When I was there, it evolved a bit, but definitely not ironclad. There was guidelines of like what terms, and in the case of fuck, how many, but more of a suggestion.
Sure.
And other things was more like, is this used as a slur? Is this used aggressively at someone? Much more context and flexibility than what I understand the MPAA does.
This is clearly a very serious subject that Watto has a lot of strong opinions about. But there are like notable exceptions of movies like The King's Speech, in which the main character has Tourette's syndrome and so involuntarily curses a lot. And they said this is history, it's educational, it's otherwise very appropriate. Children should be able to see it. And the MPAA went, no exceptions. And they had to make an alternate cut of The King's Speech with bleeps in it in order to get the PG-13 rating.
I did not realize they bleeped things. Wow.
Yeah,
I knew that.
it's like a rare example of that happening because they were like, we can't cut around it. There's no way to cut the curses out and have this movie still make sense. And then another one was Billy Elliot, which is like a movie about a child, a good film for children to see. And the adults in the film cursed, but it was like for verisimilitude, you know, and not like an exaggerated way. And they said, we're not going to cut it. It's like the texture of the movie. It gives it realism. It's not done like, willy-nilly. And they said, no, the movie's rated R. Kids can't go see it. So it feels like perhaps there's a more sensible system in place in Canada where things are like graded on a scale as part of a larger context.
Yeah, at least where I was. But as someone suggests in the thing, standards are very low in Quebec. Like each province can actually vary quite a bit.
So Quebec's kind of fucking wild, you're saying?
Like often we would get stuff where we're like, is this like a 14A? Is this an 18A? Like it's definitely like an adult movie, and Quebec's like, G, PG. Like
it's a G. Wow.
So is it people?
Hold on. Are we seeing young Arliss?
I think this is a flashback to young Arliss.
This is the youngest we've seen Arliss.
Yes.
We're getting so much closer to seeing baby Arliss.
I know, we're almost there. And I'm glad that he doesn't go all the way to baby, because then he would be stepping on our toes. Are you seeing?
Well, we don't know that yet. We have multiple seasons. Robert has tended to clam up whenever we bring up baby Arliss.
He seems
and I'm wondering if it's because that's where the show is headed and he doesn't want to spoil it for us.
That's what the last season is.
Maybe they put in a backdoor pilot that never got picked up. Now your time to pick it up.
It feels like it's maybe. Wow.
Wow. Arliss got a little crush.
I was going to say, it feels like young Arliss is horny on Maine.
It also... he's bad at sports.
Oh.
This is the Phantom Menace of Arliss. We're seeing his origin story. We're seeing when you're watching a story about a grown man, the one thing you want to see is what was he like when he was a little boy.
Yes.
And Arliss is delivering.
Yes.
And this is. I want to know if this was inspired by Phantom Menace. Did I plant the seeds for this idea that we see the origin story? I don't know.
Let's see when this episode aired. This is episode 10 or 11?
This is 11.
They mentioned the Phantom Menace earlier in the season. So.
And this episode aired August 15th, 1999. So who knows when it was filmed, but it was released in a post-Phantom Menace climate.
It was probably, I think it was filmed in the summer. That's what Boatman said.
Boatman!
Boatman said a lot of them were filmed in the summer so they could accommodate the Spin City time frame.
Turnaround.
What are we at money-wise, Patrick?
We are at
So, reminder, at 21,000, George does the special surprise. At 22.30, then we watched the OC.
This is a long flashback. I was expecting a scene. This has been
this is the episode, I think.
Yeah.
we're at $20,086 right now,
Oh, we're $14 away from George.
and 69 cents.
C3 toes. That's good.
That's really good.
Arliss, Watto really needs to use the bathroom right now.
Were you referring to yourself as Arliss?
I am relating so hard to the character of young Arliss that I felt like a sense of depersonalization for a moment. I felt like I was Arliss. And
Watto, you gotta go. Go.
I'm
Oh.
going to go.
Oh, we'll cover. I have to say, despite what you might be reading in the weather reports, the heat in Marin County is awful. Even as it's starting to cool down now, it's really having an effect on me.
George, can I put my foot down? I feel like I'm not able to be as much of a part of the conversation.
What if I put my foot down?
I'm going to put my foot down.
All right.
It was up for a while.
It was up for a while. People got their screenshots. You're up on WikiFeet now.
I hope I'm up on WikiFeet. How long have you guys ever written on yourself with Sharpie? How long does it normally take to come off?
Oh, it won't
I
come
You
would
off.
scrub it.
say within a few days.
I did like a quiz, online quiz night, pub night thing a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, in which I painted Baby Yoda on my arm. And yeah, just scrub it with some soap. It'll come
Flashback
off
has
in a day or
ended. The
two.
flashback has ended 9 minutes and 38 seconds into the episode.
Wow.
That's,
Remember, guys, if you guys donate $25 or more and you want a signed photo from Robert Wuhl, we will make that happen. A lot of people have been getting them in the mail, seeing a lot of tweets about it. It's very fun. Robert's been very nice doing it.
Mhm.
Andrew and Jesse, I just got one question for you.
yeah, one question.
Who are your favorite Star Wars characters?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Give me a second to get a substantial
Give you-
answer.
You have
Okay.
all the time you need. You have all the
Oh.
time you need.
Okay, I was going to give you 2 seconds.
No, it's an important question, and I don't want him to say something he's going to regret.
That's a good point.
With all respect to George, I'm going to pick
Thank
a
you.
character who appears only in my favorite Star Wars film, and that is Benicio del Toro's character in The Last Jedi. Who I
DJ.
believe is named DJ, yes.
TJ.
DJ. Wow.
I
Andrew,
like-
your chance.
I like getting some weird energy in there.
Yeah. Well, I think Wada will like that answer once he puts his headphones back on.
The only
I don't know a lot of.
a fun Star Wars fact. The only Star Wars character to be named after a character on the sitcom Roseanne.
That's true. That's true.
Interesting choice. I always avoided that in the prequels, even though I think it's a fine now. Roseanne, now the Connors.
Yes.
I had many opportunities to name characters after characters on Roseanne, and I
Now-
never did it. It didn't
George-
feel right.
George, I will
Yeah.
say that recurring and guest in one season of Maine, there was a character named Crystal Anderson Connors. The Crystal Critters in Last Jedi.
This feels like a big reach.
What a
Oh,
big
shoot.
reach.
Excuse me.
People don't watch this stream to hear a bunch of made-up speculation.
Yes.
I'm telling you some genuine Star Wars trivia. That there was only one character who's been named after a character on the sitcom Roseanne.
Did Ryan tell you that? How do you know that?
It's a fan film. It doesn't count. What are you talking about?
I don't remember where I read it. It might have been in Sight and Sound. It could have been in American Cinematheque. Could have been in a BFI interview.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that's true.
Is it,
Are we anywhere? Are we close to the special surprise?
Andrew, do you have an answer yet?
Been feeling Dak lately.
Oh, okay,
Just
yeah.
Dak comes to mind.
Sure. Dax, a good
DJ and the Dak. That would be a good Star Wars spinoff.
Dak Relter? Is that the word talking
Yeah.
about? Is it just me, or does it feel like the drawing on
Almost.
his foot has really gone to Patrick's head? Like, he's very cocky now. He's like changing the rules. He's refusing to do things. Last I checked, I can't even see that foot on camera.
I'm sorry, you went to the bathroom for a while? And
Right.
we all decided that it had been up there long enough because I couldn't really be a part of the stream anymore.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom. I come back. The thread is now all people telling you how to wash it off. You coward.
Hang on.
Interesting. So you chose Dak. Let me get this back on topic. Let me get this train back on the track. So you chose Dak, who, fun fact, was almost named after the character Dan Connor on Roseanne.
That's a good point. George loves Roseanne.
That's a fun
George,
fact.
all ever George talks about is Roseanne.
It's a nonstop subject.
Has John Goodman been in any extended universe things? He would be a great.
No.
He was
Great
a
addition.
young John Goodman was originally cast as the Rancor, and it didn't work. We filmed some shots. And I thought this is close.
He brings some pathos to that role.
And I should have cast him as the Rancor's keeper. He would have been great as that part, but we already cast that part, so we just had to say, John, it's just not. We're gonna do this with a model, and I should have replaced it with CGI because that would look great.
Goodman would be great in a Star Wars movie.
It would be great.
And he worked with your buddy Steve several times.
Yes, he has, and also. He follows the rule that I talked about earlier, which when we were talking about the best Robert Wuhl movie, Good Burger, and the best use of him, Good Morning Vietnam. John Goodman, the only way his name could get any better is if his nickname was Goody, and his first name was also Good.
If his name was Good Goody.
Good Goody Goodman.
Good Goody Good.
And here's what I want to say: for young actors who are about to join the Screen Actors Guild, and you have a chance to choose your name.
Yes.
Good Goody Goodman.
Yes.
Is a great name.
Yes.
And anybody who's joining SAG, snap it up while you get the chance because you will never stop booking. Good Goody Goodman.
Hey George, it's time for your surprise.
All right. Let's go ahead and we're gonna try this again. See if this works.
Just so everyone knows, we're at $2,111.69.
Wow, so
Okay.
we're like just a little more than $100 away.
Yeah.
We have one
All right.
episode to hit $100 more and watch the OC.
Okay, so give me a Duel of the Fates, will you, Watto?
Ready? Places.
Yeah, I'm ready. Places and action.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 That went much better this time.
Much better, George.
Much better.
Great job, George.
It's for a good cause.
It's for a great cause.
Wow.
And we want to remind people that we're raising money today for Chris Rudd's COVID-19 protester fund to try to get money to raise money for treatment and testing for people who are protesting. So it's a really good cause right now. It's a really urgent cause. He's raised over $250,000, right?
Yep. Well, now it's $250,000 and 2,100.
Yeah. And so he's done very well. We're going to try to help him do just a little bit better and help a few people out because every little bit helps. And we're trying to make it. And is there anything? Let me ask you guys. Since you guys made it through, through your generosity, you made it onto the stream. What else would you like to see happen? Do you have any wishes or any ideas that we could set for stretch goals for other people?
I just want to say quickly, this is 100% the Arliss Falls in Love episode of the season.
Yeah.
I'm realizing so much flashback, so much him with the childhood sweetheart. and then rare cutaways to Rita and Kirby and Bogdan. I always forget.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, yes, I'm sorry, Andrew. Continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say that whether the things are things that I want or not, like the giveaways, like Robert mailing the photo, is such a good, like, I think that week I had already donated $20, and I was like, well, I will donate $5 more. So I don't know, any tidbits, knickknacks, junk you guys have.
I mean, that was
you
the thing we established.
want to mail out.
We said whichever person makes the single biggest donation this week is going to get the thing that Robert sends, right?
Yeah,
And that's a running total.
that is a running total. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I believe someone has donated.
But even if it was
200.
for smaller things,
Yeah, who's in the lead? Someone's in the lead right now with 200.
I believe so. Let's think of there's nice smaller things too.
even if it was for smaller things, if you just pick up a toy you have or something and say, next person that donates.
Yeah, Watto still has 3 Watto Funko Pops. Now, these are no longer available.
There you go.
They're very limited. They were at Star Wars Celebration and on the Hot Topic website. And Watto bought like 12 of them, and I think he's down to 3 now. I will autograph one of these as Watto and draw a little picture of Watto on them. To someone who donates, what's the amount?
As of right now, for that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let's check the market value, because I feel like
Yeah,
how much is that Watto going for on eBay right now?
Let's see.
Right now, Timothy H. Gray is winning with $200. So if anyone can beat $200, that's your goal.
That's the number. You might get a signed poster from Bobby Wuhl.
I don't know if he wanted me to make that public, but too late.
Hey,
Wow.
guess what?
Wow.
It's too late, and you might be getting a prize out. Okay, I'm looking up Watto Funko Pop, and it's telling me the going rate is negative $50. I'm joking. Watto likes to take the piss out of himself. But jokes aside, it does seem like the going rate is about $10, which is somehow less than what Watto pays.
That's less. That's below the retail list price.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there seems to be variation. Like some of them are going for 40.
What's the highest? What's the highest? Let's go by the highest.
Okay, the highest one. The highest one here. Let's see. Best match? Nope. Price plus shipping, highest first. The most expensive individual one is $47.99.
Well, you've got to go up from that because it's being signed by Watto himself.
I draw.
Yeah.
Watto.
Yeah.
Do we want to just say 100?
Yeah,
we should double it.
Okay.
Yeah, we double it. Yeah.
The next person to
Is
donate
it an
$100 gets Watto.
Is it an openable box that you could put a condom on Watto's nose? I feel like that would add value as well.
Yes, this is the thing about the Funkos. They're very cheap. You can reopen them and put them back on. I'm happy to look. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this is made to order. You want a condom over the head? I'll do it. You want me to personalize it to you? I'll do it. You want me to draw Watto? I'll do it. You want me to draw Olaf from Frozen? I'll do it. You tell me what you want out of this. I personalize what I'm offering up one of these for, let's say, is it $75? Is it $100?
You say what you want, Watto.
I'm saying for the next $100 donation, in addition to getting a Watto video of your choice, you get this, and I will personalize it in the way you want.
And we got one, I think. Hang on, let me confirm.
Pete from NA.
Pete Russell.
Arliss is being reunited with his young love.
Yes.
Pete Russell.
Pete
All
Russell.
right, I believe I have your address already.
Yes. Okay.
But you email me with how you want Watto to do this.
And you get the Watto video as well. You get,
Yeah.
if you want to send me some text, Jesse and Andrew, this extends to you as well because you hit the 100.
I believe Andrew did send one,
Yeah,
right? Andrew?
You did? Is it in here?
I did send it already, yeah.
No, I will put it in there for you.
Well, and it sounds like Patrick's doing a bad job.
Well, we had a lot of stuff going on.
No, I understand. It's fine, but fundamentally, you are a coward.
Okay, here we go. I'll put it in the private chat.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh wow, this is what was requested by Andrew or by Pete.
It's by Andrew.
That's me. Yeah,
Okay, give me a
but
second.
I'm a big Kelly Reichardt fan. So
Yeah, let me see if I can pull this up. Give me a second. Don't let's not explain what it is yet. Wado needs to see if he
Yeah.
might have some information that could help this.
Hey George, let's see. Hang on one sec. Let me just refresh this.
Hold on. This is one of the most exciting scenes in all of Arliss.
oh, they're talking about sequels.
Wow.
And guys, I believe, yep, we have $2,231.69, which means we will be watching the OC episode, the OC,
Wow.
after this.
Folks, you have added almost an hour onto our live stream, and we appreciate it. We appreciate your generosity.
Yeah,
But that's a network hour.
it's true. 42 minutes.
42 minutes.
I don't think the OC is on any streaming platforms in Canada, so I will just watch
I'm
You'll just
sure
watch
we'll
us
do
watch
with
it.
that one.
vicariously.
Mhm.
Wow.
I
I
mean,
can tell you that's
An
been a
episode
great
of the
experience.
OC is only like a few seasons of Mariah Carey's Holidays Sketchtacular.
Mm,
It's like watching 3 or 4 seasons of that back to back, right?
yeah.
Now everyone's excited that we did it, but we haven't done it because we want to make what was it, $3,501?
And $1.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we want. 3,501. Yeah.
And that's when Patrick will draw the companion character to his foot droid
Mhm.
on his other foot so they can finally be friends, because what is right now our 5D foot is so lonely. It's like seeing
Yes.
it breaks my heart. That's why we can't even bear to look at him right now.
You sound
It's
like
because-
Padme right now, George.
He doesn't have a friend.
All right. Are we going to start this episode?
You're in charge, producer.
Well, then
The
let's
answer is yes. Just roll it through. Just roll it through.
start it.
Is this the season finale?
This is the season finale,
Wow.
which means I do have to kick Andrew and Jesse
Mhm.
Okay.
because we do have
Yeah.
another guest who's going to be joining
Understood.
us.
Of course.
Thank
Andrew,
you guys so
Jesse,
much.
thank
Well,
you so
thank you for your
much.
time.
Excellent work in the
Mhm.
scene.
Yep.
I'm going to
Mhm.
pull up the information I need in order to fulfill your Watto video request.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And if
Oh.
I can real quick, it was plugged last week through a Watto video, but I do host a podcast called Can I Kick It? It's about film festivals. If you're interested in just like what's going on with movies now, we've been doing a lot of episodes where we just talk about like the digital releases and digital festivals. So I'll go, but I think it's
love
a lot of fun. Bye
I
bye.
love it.
Well, that's
Thank you
great.
so much for your generosity,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we forgot to plug Jonathan's podcast earlier. Let's get in a plug for Jonathan's Braylex podcast. I forgot to ask him about it.
Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood, one of the best podcasts in the game.
Yeah. Everybody should when you're looking for podcasts, take a listen to it. It's really
All
fun.
right. Let's start the episode and then I will bring in the guest.
Okay.
I had already started the episode.
Yeah, I'll reset it back.
Let's reset.
I'll reset it for you.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Boom.
And
Boom.
as we know, it would not be a season finale of May the RB List You, the George Lucas talk show watchathon,
Yes.
without the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Bobby!
Bobby, hello.
How are you guys? How you doing?
Good.
We're
How are
doing
you?
great, Bobby. It was yet another week where we were starting at the beginning of the watchathon. We were, I think, all feeling pretty down, and from the beginning of season 4, you were out of the gate like a shot with the Tanya Harding episode, which was such a tremendous start to the season. I think easily one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
And then the whole season's just been gangbusters. I love that you you held it. You didn't reveal when we've been talking about the idea of seeing baby Arliss. I was not prepared for seeing the flashback to young runaway Michaels, young Arliss in full flashback.
Yeah, actually, that's an edit. I can thank the editor for making that work and it was an accident because at one time in the scene we were editing it, and the scene where Arliss went back, and I'm from Union, New Jersey, so when he went back and saw the girl, for some reason the editing, the avid, kind of just went a little hazy, and they stopped on the little girl, and we thought, oh, that works. So we glad you just a quick thing. Oh, that works.
Wow.
So sometimes we get a little lucky.
So
Tanya
great.
Harding, how about that? I had forgotten about Tanya Harding.
Yeah.
And a great line when he said when Arliss is farting and he farts on Tanya Harding, and then he gets up and he said someone do something. Someone has to do something about this, and she comes back with, "Don't look at me."
So fun.
Most of the time,
so great.
Most of the time, just about all the time, they're pretty good sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, when I did, let me ask you guys, when I did ASCAT, was Remy, what's her last name, Chemisser with us at all? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't think so. I was the only one there that night from this group.
No. Connor was.
I don't know who you're talking about, Robert.
She's got a podcast, but they said she was in UCB, so.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, apparently her bio does.
She might do stuff at UCB, but I don't think she was on the show.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. There used to be a lot of shows at UCB.
Hey, do you know who I did a podcast the other night? And do you know who was on talking about, like, what we wanted to talk about was Arliss, was George C. Romero.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He talked about how Arliss, him growing up, how it changed his take on storytelling, and how it, he was being awfully nice, and how changing tones and you go comedy serious, and how you could do that. And he said, and so he talked about with me for about 15 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
Wild.
Kind of cool.
That's cool.
Wait, Patrick, I'm seeing something here. Are you seeing in the live comments New Jersey's own Colt Cabana?
I am seeing that, yeah.
Colt Cabana, who's an amazing professional wrestler, Bobby, he's asking, only Arliss talk, or are we talking about New Bomb Turk? Now
That's Hollywood Nights.
Right, we have a Hollywood Nights fan here who might want to.
No, Hollywood Nights is huge. The first movie I did, huge cult film. Cult film, yeah.
And that really kickstarted your career, at least transitioning from being a stand-up to an actor, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you get that part? How did that come about?
I auditioned. I auditioned, and mostly improvs. Now I had an acting background. I did study drama in the University of Houston, and my class was pretty good. We had Dennis Quaid, Brett Cullen, we were all classmates together. So my classmate Brett Cullen, who just played Thomas Wayne in The Joker.
Yeah.
And actually, he played the golfer.
I was going to say he was in an episode.
Yeah, we played golf together.
Oh, that's great.
That's
I'm sorry if I seem a little distracted, but they're talking about they just negotiated sequel rights, and it's just speaking my language.
To what am I doing?
They're negotiating the video game.
Yeah.
You
were Tony Hawk.
Yeah, the guy who's doing all the stuff like that, I just looked on his resume, saw special skills, and he says close-up magic. I said, you got the job. Because we had all this exposition going, and I thought, boy, it's going to be boring. But if he's doing this shit, it's like, I can cut to that, make it interesting.
But this also, this episode, 1999, you're doing an episode with Tony Hawk about Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Now, Tony Hawk is known at this point in time, but I feel like he goes on to become just infinitely more famous a couple of years after this, and that video game becomes legendary.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? When we did this episode, I wasn't that much into the X Games and the esports. I really wasn't. So when they got Tony, but was interesting when Tony Hawk came on the set, and he was a terrific guy.
Yeah.
The crew, there must have been 20 of them wanting into autograph stuff and everything. So they were way ahead of me.
Right, the younger crew. They were like, they knew that this was the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was, but he was the guy for that back then. which was nice. When I was watching the episodes this week, because I got to actually, it helps me that you guys are on, because I have to get on the treadmill and watch these episodes. It passes the time, man. Otherwise, I'd never get on. What struck me, as always, what I remember is the actors we had on. I mean, I had Amanda Bynes on, and Gary Beach, who was he played the preacher who had the athlete. You know, he was the original Lemure in The Beauty and the Beast on Broadway, and then he later won a Tony Award after Arliss for being Roger Debris, the director in The Producers.
Yeah,
and he just died. He just died about a year or so ago. And he was a sweet guy, good guy. Yeah. And I remember Harding, a great actor. John Shuck was on the show.
I brought him up several times. John Shuck is one of my favorite character actors.
Oh, John Shuck is
I got so excited seeing him on screen.
John Shuck also did a lot of Broadway. He was Daddy Warbucks for many years in Annie.
Yeah. Yes, and he was Painless and MASH.
Right, and yes, he was. And also Kathleen Freeman, who played
Kathleen Freeman. Yes,
you know that was from Singing in the Rain. Round Bones.
You know who's another character actor I was very excited to see on an episode.
Who's that?
Francois Chow.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy's a pro. That guy's a real pro.
I got the thing. I know all the jokes, but I forget them. But the one thing that did crack me up was singing. Was the end credits of Cabaret in Korean. I had forgotten we did that.
Yes. That's an interesting question. Like, how often, when you're rewatching an episode, how often is something very vivid in your memory? How often are you completely surprised by something where you go, "Oh wow, I don't remember doing that"?
Well, you got to keep in mind that I edited all the episodes. With the editors.
True.
So I pretty much know. I forget, but it's been 25 years, 20 years.
Yeah, right.
So. I did forget things like Cabaret. I had forgotten about the Tibetan, which just cracks me up. I had forgotten about sitting in the Staples Center as it was being built.
We were going to
that was our quest. Yeah, that was
real. Yeah,
no, that's absolutely real.
Yeah, wow.
Absolutely, we were all there, and believe me, there was hard hats, and we had to go through a lot of things. We only had a certain amount of time, and we had to get.
You had to bring popcorn. You had to bring a little box of popcorn all the way to the middle of that.
The things we went through.
Where did you get the pop? Someone had to get that popcorn from far away and bring it to the middle of that construction site.
Yeah, we couldn't. We had to do all. I mean, we had to, but it was cool because you think, geez, I was there at the Staples Center thing.
Yeah,
so that was kind of fun.
Here's a big question. We got to the WCW episode, which of course made us have to look up your appearance on the actual WCW broadcast.
I was about as uncomfortable,
really,
and as bad as I've ever been.
We couldn't hear it.
Because first of all, I'm playing a character, and at the same time, when I'm on my show, I'm more confident about playing the character.
Of course, yes,
right.
So, plus, as a character, I figured in the spirit of WWF, hype the shit out of the show.
Yeah.
So, and the diehard fans really hated me, as well they should have.
The wrestling fans, you're saying, not the diehard Arliss fans. The diehard Arliss fans loved you.
As well they should have. I mean, that wasn't very good. So, but they were great people to work with. It was the first time. I'll tell you what was cool. It was the first time I was backstage in the dressing room of that, and I saw what went on there. And I remember asking one of the guys. I go, one of the wrestlers. I forgot who. And Hogan was there. And I said, "Let me ask you a question, guys. It's just between me and you. When you take a chair and crack it over somebody's head, how do you do that?" Yeah. He goes, "You take a chair and you crack it over somebody's head." He says, "That's their problem. They know what's coming."
Wow.
And boy, these guys they were really banged up. These guys.
Yeah.
They were hurt. And at the time I asked them, "You guys got hospitalization?" And they had no. And then it was interesting because I remember asking somebody who was the head of the WWF, one of the people there, and they said, "Don't feel bad. They're all making a lot of money." It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, the thought was, when I asked them about getting bigger, steroid abuse, they said bigger is better. And it wasn't much long after that about 2 or 3 wrestlers died.
Yeah.
Over that. But I remember that. I remember.
But you had that was Lex Luger and Goldust and Macho Man Randy Savage. You had all of them on the show.
They were great to us. They were very, very nice.
I'm trying to think of I feel like today we had so many things where we were like, we're going to ask Bobby. Oh, Good Burger came up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you're in.
Now that must have happened because of Brian Robbins, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
It was his first movie. It was his first movie. Arliss was on there. They asked me to do a cameo. I said yes.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
And we realized Shaq's in that movie too, which is a little Arliss reunion between you and Shaq.
Between me and who?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, that's right. Shaq was tight with Brian.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We also brought up that you're in Shirley.
Yes, you're getting great reviews.
Hey, I got to tell you, I got a small role in this thing, and I did it like 2 summers ago, and I'd forgotten about it. And I didn't think I was that good. I said, I don't know if the movie's ever coming out. I got the one, they probably left me on the floor if it does and everything. Sure. And suddenly it comes out. I read the review the other day, I think Friday, and it's really getting terrific reviews. And I haven't seen the movie yet. I generally don't like to watch myself much anymore. But I'll probably see it. But
where can people watch it? Where can people watch it?
This is the second time I did a movie that I didn't think was going to come out, and it's turned out okay. This is not going to be a huge hit. It's going to be on VOD, and it'll find an audience, maybe get some award recognitions. The other time, I did a movie in about 83, 84, where the director hired me for 2 weeks just to improvise comedy. You'll like this. Yeah. He said, listen, I just want somebody to improvise some comedy. And he had directed a movie for the same company that produced Hollywood Nights.
Okay.
So when he met me, we were telling war stories of Casablanca films. Yeah. So he hires me. For 2 weeks, I sit in this bar watching all guys in this bar. And we're watching girls dance, a comic come out, and I don't do a thing. When the comic comes out, I ad-lib one line. Hey, he goes off it took place in Pittsburgh. I went, go Steelers. So my friend says, about a year later, whatever happened to that movie? I go, I don't know. All guys in the bar, all chicks dancing up there, water flying around. I'm never going to see this movie. It's Flashdance. And Flashdance opens and is I think it's the 35th anniversary. I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
It's like this skyrockets.
Yeah.
I get to this day I get 10 times the residuals that I do as Arliss.
Yeah.
For one line. Let's mention Shirley. What it was my trailer. I knew the producers. I was a writer over at Paramount, and I knew the producers, so they were basically didn't want to do blow in the production office, so they could use my dressing room. So that was my job, getting out of my dressing room.
We should mention, Bobby, Shirley is rentable on most platforms, your iTunes and the like, but also you can do a lot of these virtual cinema screenings where when you rent it, your money goes towards an independent art house theater.
Oh, that's great
idea. Specifically. So if you want to Google into that.
I will also say it is on Hulu too.
It is on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah. But if you want to do the cinema screening, that's a good way to do it too. That's the first one.
Okay, that George Romero thing blew me away. I just got to say, And then he mentioned, of course, I was in the first Tales from the Crypt. There was the 3 of them, and I was in one of the first 3. It was a trip. It was a one-nighter thing, which was fun. I got to work with Richard Donner, one of the great directors of all time, Dick Donner. Oh man, what a guy! What year you guys would have loved him. He let me do anything.
Yeah.
You guys would have loved Dick Donner. Trust me.
So that would have been after Superman, but before Goonies, I guess. I'm trying to remember what year Tales from the Crypt would have been.
88, 89.
Oh, maybe after then, yeah.
Sure it is. This is right. When does the Lethal Weapon series starts around then?
84, 85.
Yeah, it's during that period. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so this
right after Batman, again, the casting director, Marion Dougherty, the old-time Grand Dame, she said, "Hey, there's a part. You want to do it? Yeah, sure."
Wow.
I wish they were all that easy.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I didn't want to come out with this little pretentious, but look what I found. Hey,
Oh, buddy!
look what I found.
Whoa!
That's a good hat.
Hang on, let me
I'll
bring.
take it off now. I don't want to give too much. Oh, there it is.
Whoa! Wait,
Yeah,
these
it was me and Joey Pants. It was called "Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone," and it was about this guy who, the mad scientist, developed where a guy had like 9 lives. So I, being a carnival barker, we would kill him off at every event, and then he'd come back to life.
Wow.
You know, and I was the carnival barker, and we had a bunch, and both of us got nominated for Cable Ace Awards that year, which was kind of nice.
That is cool. We just saw Alan Thicke a few minutes ago.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was great. A good guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good character actors on this year. It's
yeah. Well, coming up, you're going to get James Coburn, Ed Asner, Charles Durning.
Yeah.
What's her name? Lindsay Krause.
Yeah.
You know, Eileen Brennan. I mean, every one of them is an Oscar nominee or winner.
I mean, this is a question I just thought of for you, Bobby. Between the 7 seasons of our list, but also all these different projects you've worked on in TV and film, and we're talking about what an imprint you've had in different genres and different eras and all of that.
Go on.
Is there someone actor you've worked with who like stands out in your mind where you went like, wow, that process is interesting? You know, like one of the things that's interesting about being an actor is watching other people work, right? And is there someone where you went, that's interesting the way they do it, you know? Okay,
on 2 different extremes.
Yeah.
Now, one was Bruno Kirby during Good Morning Vietnam. He jumps
the great Bruno.
Great Bruno Kirby.
Yeah.
Who I miss every day of my life, and who helped me quite a bit. Just his process, his way he took it, the way he thought about it, the thought process. Now, the other one is different. And that's De Niro, Robert De Niro, when I did Mistress. But that was in a different process because you got, unless you're the star of the movie, you're basically not allowed to rehearse on film.
Yes.
So he would have these monologues. If you ever notice how De Niro does the best monologues ever. I mean, whether it's You Talking to Me, or it's Raging Bull, or it's King of Comedy down in the basement, he got monologues with Scorsese, right?
Yeah.
Well, so we were doing this movie, Mistress. Barry Primus wrote and directed, best actors director I ever worked. And so De Niro had this speech, and the speech was something like, I'll tell you what's wrong with your film. Your film needs more sex. You don't have enough sex. Now, you're an artist. Okay, so now you're an artist. You don't care. But if my money's going to be in this, it's going to have more sex. So Martin Landau and I and Jace Alexander are sitting over here. Martin Landau. There's another. There's another.
Landau.
Okay, Landau.
Yeah.
And so De Niro starts. I'll tell you what's wrong with your film. I'll tell you what's wrong with your film. I'll tell you what's wrong with your film. It needs more sex. I'll tell you what's wrong with your film. It needs more sex. You got sex, you need more sex. I'll tell you what is wrong with your film. It needs more sex. You have some. So this would build and build and build. Now, and like, and of course, by the time it's over, you're like, how great it is.
Right.
But, he's rehearsing on film.
Right. He's
It was Tribeca's first film.
Yes.
So, and if you haven't seen A Mistress, that's a good film. I mean, it's the one independent filmmakers always talk to me about.
Wow.
It's about an independent filmmaker. And, but that process was a godsend if you can do it.
Yes.
And he's the most generous. And I got to tell you, all these guys I've worked with, Jack. Jack was just fun. I mean,
do you find I have found very often the legendary people are not the ones with the huge egos.
No, it's assholes like me.
No, but don't you find you are a very humble, generous man, as evidenced by the fact that you show up here every week. But don't you feel like very often the people who have like the big monstrous egos are the people who feel insecure because they're not a legend?
There is that. There's absolutely true.
Yes.
But there are artists who are. The word difficult is I don't like using the word difficult. It's challenging.
Yes.
And there's different types, and then certain directors work. It's up to a director too, and their relationship with the star. This is movies. This isn't theater.
Right.
This is the movie industry.
Right.
So that's a different thing, or the television industry. So you don't ever hear about any trouble on Tom Hanks's set. You don't hear any trouble on Tom Cruise's set, or Anthony Hopkins. You don't hear about that. You never do. These people are so professional. 99.999% of the people are professionals.
Yes.
They're there to do a job.
And the people who aren't usually don't last on top for very long.
Most they won't last on. You're on top for very long, yeah.
Right.
Unless you are just the greatest picker of films that ever lived.
Of course. No, but the people who are at the very top, they usually stay there because they're good at their job, not just in terms of giving you actual takes, but in terms of treating people right.
Most of the time, yes, but more importantly, their films make money.
That's also a big part, and that's where I get the dollar signs in the name.
And you have to wonder, when you hear people who, when you hear complaints from one person about a project, often that can just be one person, and their experience of it is unique to them. And if you don't hear from anyone else, you think, well, this person is just complaining, for the sake of complaining.
Yes.
Yeah,
like everybody else likes it.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go involved with that.
Right, because you get that sometimes where like one person is just like obsessed with one bad interaction they've had with a famous person, and it's like they need to prove to everyone else that there is some sort of larger pattern here at play.
Yeah, it's like get over it, man. Get over it.
By the way, vice versa too.
Well,
you can be a real dick, but in a social occasion, they can be the best person in the world to me.
Right. Yes.
Does that impact the way you think of meeting fans or people on sets, where you're like, oh, this is the one thing they're going to remember is how I treat them? Does that make sense?
It should.
Yeah.
You are, but what's funny is, my brother says, hey, you met this guy here, and he thought you were an asshole.
Right.
I said, why? And I forgot why. And people are going to interpret things differently too.
Sure.
Do you find when you go to a restaurant?
Yeah, restaurants. I usually, I don't have that level of fame where many people, this is not DiCaprio here. It's
Sure.
like.
Do you ever have people who recognize you and they're not sure from what, and they want you to help them solve the mystery?
Oh yeah, especially when I'm in. I loved you in An Officer and a Gentleman. I get that all the time. I get that. In fact, David Keith is in next season or the season after that plays my brother.
I was going to ask
because we ran into each other in an elevator down in Miami one time. Right. One of those things where the door opens and it's like, and he says, "I get stopped for you all the time." I said, "I get stopped for you all the time." So I figured, okay, this is a good way. So we play brothers.
Right. That's
so
good.
Funny. I'm gonna pull up there he is.
Look.
Yeah.
There's a resemblance.
I see it.
There is a resemblance.
Yeah, I get that. And you know what I say now when they say I loved you, Officer Gentleman? I just say thanks.
Yeah.
Because why am I going to stop them? By correcting them, I make them feel a little embarrassed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I appreciate that.
That's good. That's the right way to do it.
Okay. We just finished the season finale.
Oh, okay.
So
how much money did you get this week?
Season 4.
We are at, let me confirm. We are at $2,231.
Less than last week.
Less than last week.
Now let's say this, Bobby. Last week you promised, because we at the very end you started pulling up items and saying how much can we auction it off for. Now you found a poster. This is a clean version of the slam dunk R-list poster.
Clean poster.
Not
Now, here's the question.
Yeah.
Here's the question, because I only got a couple of these so I found.
Yeah.
Because the show's over,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if do we want to hold off till next week?
Well, no, because this is what we said last week, Robert. We said
Okay.
we're starting next week. Whoever makes the single biggest donation next week gets the poster.
Oh,
for the
okay.
entire run of the show.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So since this one isn't framed, you could sign this one. Right?
I can already sign up. I can get Jim and Boatman to sign it. Maybe get Sandra to sign it. I don't know.
Okay.
But we have a better chance for sure.
So we had one donation of $200, right?
Yeah.
But the ball is in the court now. If someone wants to come in with a larger donation, otherwise it is going to that person.
Well, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine by me.
That's a good
Yes.
one. And then maybe next week, if we have those other ones, we can. If you do over 200 or something, we'll
Yes.
right because we've.
Well,
We'll see.
how's everything going with you guys?
I think we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Had fun with this season, you know.
It's good to have this, you know. It's good to be able to have something that is fun to watch and also helping.
Yes.
So it really is the perfect combination of if it was just fun to watch, maybe it wouldn't feel like the right moment. But the fact that it's fun to watch and also helping, it's sort of those two things really complement each other in the current moment we're in, you know.
Yeah. No,
And-
I have to get on the treadmill every day. And unfortunately, to get on for at least 2 episodes, depending on how many we did that year, it's like so at least I get my road work in.
That's great.
It's what you're talking about. It's like the hardest thing at the time like this is to maintain some sense of structure in your life when the sort of outside structure has been ripped away from us. And it's like, I know what my Sundays are now. It's settling into some R-list and having a nice chat with my buddy Bobby, you know?
Arliss, Robert, we have to tell you something exciting. So you know how we've been doing Arliss names for people?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This is amazing. This is going to blow your mind because this is something that I think is going to live on beyond these watchathons.
Oh wait, wrong one. Sorry.
Someone made a website in the past week. They registered the domain arliss.me, and people can make their name into an Arliss name with a slider, with 2 sliders that they can. We'll put Robert Wuhl in there, and you can balance.
Let's hit more R-list. Let's show him how it works.
You click more Arliss, and they really add it. And then you can add or subtract the amount of money or sports symbols or icons.
So watch the gray box. Watch what happens here, Bobby.
What do we want to do?
Let's do each one at a time, because no one is a greater balance of sports and business than Bobby Wuhl himself. So you see now you have
I see
what's happening here. But let's add some more sports to the equation. Well, see, I think you have to alternate them one at a time, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick, alternate them one at a time. Don't go all in.
There we go. $1 sign.
I'm blown away that somebody took the time.
Right?
It's well, you know, again, like we talk, you know, a lot of people aren't working right now, and a lot of people are looking for
this gave someone something to do this week.
Absolutely, and it's appreciative. I mean, we're appreciative.
And anybody who wants to can go to this website and play around with their Arliss name.
Yes.
And it really, I'm so moved that someone did this after us.
I really am. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Too. And by the way, that's a tribute to your show. I mean,
and it's a double tribute. This show, yes, this show and your show.
Fans of yours, and you.
No, fans of yours.
They're putting up with me. I'm this week's content, but you guys are here.
Bobby, for better or worse, we have a shared fan base now.
Yes. The Venn diagram of our fan bases is slowly turning into one circle.
George Lucas's fan base has always been my fan base.
Yes.
You made Bobby. You made a Star Wars joke in this season. You made a Star Wars joke. It was so touching. you were making fun of the title of you were saying it's
Yeah.
Return of the Revenge of the Phantom Menace Episode 2 Part 1.
Yeah,
So you're really spoofing the whole sequel franchise nature of it.
Yes.
I vaguely remember. I remember that. I heard that the other day, and also there was a Millennium Falcon reference too. I think.
It's like you knew.
Yeah. Oh boy, are we hip.
I mean, any more Star Wars references, and I'm just going to say that the series is canon, that it's a Star Wars series.
I don't think you go. Oh, wait a minute. No, what is he in? John Rhys Davies. What is he in Star Wars or Indiana Jones or both?
Indiana Jones.
He's in Indiana Jones and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah, he's on the show.
Yes, but Indiana Jones, there's some hieroglyphs in the background of one of the Indiana Jones movies of little R2-D2 and C-3PO. So that connects the universes.
There
Hey
you
guys,
go.
I want to interrupt here.
Yes.
We just got a $300 donation
Very cool.
from Paolo Sembrano. So Paolo, you send me your email address, and we will
Right?
get that to you. So now we got a few more donations. So let me add
Unless the night is young, someone could still beat his record.
Yeah.
True.
And did we have a stretch goal for 2,500? Because now we've sort of passed that, right?
Hang on one second. We did soar past it. You're right.
I think it was that you were going to draw on that second foot, weren't you?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was for 30. No, that was for 3501.
Yeah, we'll handle that in a little bit.
We'll figure it out.
That's so fun. Well, this is great. We're doing great, guys.
Bobby, it's so nice of you to always drop by and say hello to us.
It's funny. I greatly enjoy seeing you guys. It's I tell you, you two guys, when I get on, I watch. I go, especially when doing the show, you guys all inspire me. Believe me,
Hey, come on.
because I told you, boy, when I saw UCB in LA. I mean, I told you, they did like a half a dozen retard jokes, and look, we're all going to do dick jokes, it's like that. Like dick joke, fuck jokes, somewhere's going to happen. But the retard jokes, it was just maybe I caught a bad night. I don't know. But I did
Maybe
first before I came to the New York one, and it was just. I remember the first time I saw Jackie Chan in Police Story. It was like,
So
what's this?
the point you were making was you saw the New York ones and you went, this is my kind of comedy, not the other stuff.
Well, I just thought, okay, the future is brighter than I imagined.
I just want to be very clear on where you're landing here.
Yeah, no, it was like, boy, this is smart. This is smart. This is clever.
Who would have predicted that would have been the theater to close due to a pandemic?
Yeah, this is giving the audience, some respect. That's big
right.
thing.
Because look, George, very successful, right? Has made billions and billions of dollars in his career, wants to start his own talk show. And of course, it's like, do I go to ABC? Do I go to NBC? Do I go to CBS? And he said, no, I should go to UCB and perform it at a small theater where only 100 people can see it at the time. That's not broadcast after that.
That's right. That's how Chorus Line started.
Yes.
And Hamilton started.
Yes.
Oh,
That's right.
All right, we should start wrapping this up, right? Thank you, Bobby. This was super fun.
Listen, guys,
Bobby, thank you.
Be safe.
Yeah,
You
we'll
as
talk to
well,
you.
Bobby.
I'll see you
Stay
next
safe.
week. Bye-bye.
All right.
And Paolo's information so he can get that poster.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're gonna do the OC.
Yes, it is very weird that it now feels like Robert Wuhl is one of Watto's closest friends. Like just in terms of how much Watto now speaks to him on a regular basis.
Yeah, I don't know if Watto.
I think it's worth thinking about this.
Yes.
How much screen time Watto spent with Anakin Skywalker compared to how much screen time Watto has spent with Robert Wuhl.
Right.
And it's a blowout. It is an absolute. You wouldn't even compare them in terms of what relationship they had to one another.
At this point, we are over 5 hours. There is over 5 hours of Watto and Robert Wuhl sharing a screen together.
We are. It won't be long before there is more screen time of Watto and Robert Wuhl than there was of Star Wars circa the release of Return of the Jedi.
We will
Like-
soon have an entire trilogy's worth of screen time between
Yes.
Watto and Wuhl.
Oh.
All
All
okay.
right, which season, which episode are we? Did I
We're
do?
gonna do
23, season 2, correct?
yep, season 2, episode 23.
Did we really not establish a stretch goal for 2,500?
Lieutenant.
Let's ask the people in the chat. They'll remember.
It's yeah. I mean,
And
I don't have
okay,
it written down.
So three is the other foot, right?
No, 3501.
We had to beat last week's, and I don't think we're going to do it unless people.
You know what? Wait.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, we have to beat next week for the other foot. That's what we have to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
but what was 2,500?
We don't have
Was
it.
that when we got Sims in here for that? Was that what it was?
I think 2,500 unlocks Sims as a stretch goal, but we forgot to announce it, so it now feels like there's no way we get Sims on here. It's impossible.
Well, hang on. Let's see if his camera works because New York's own David Sims.
God, looking bad. Look at me.
Oh, looking like a snack.
Woo!
Uh-oh, don't call him that or else Patrick will eat him and then take a nap on him.
Problem.
Is that a thing?
Don't
Yes,
worry about
no,
it. Dave.
Patrick loves snacking and napping. So let's just quickly set, before we start this episode of the OC, which is the length of essentially 2 R-less episodes.
And wait, which episode is it?
It's season 2, episode 23, the OC.
Yes, like the high seas.
Okay, so people can get to this in people can get to this in HBOmax, or is it also on HBOgo?
No, it's only on HBOmax.
So no one, if you're watching HBOgo on your Roku or on your Apple Fire,
go buy the DVDs.
I regret to tell you must take it to the max in order to watch HBO.
and let me explain, David. Do you know? Are you familiar with HBOmax?
I am. I'm I guess a subscriber because it just my HBO turned into HBO Max. It went to the
you
max.
understand? You understand that it's HBO, but so much more.
Yes,
of course. Right.
You can also apparently rent episodes on Amazon for 99 cents.
Okay,
But really, you should give that money. You should instead don't watch the OC. Listen to us talk about it and give the 99 cents to Chris Redd's COVID-19 protest relief fund. Don't spend 99 cents to Jeff Bezos for this.
No.
Hey, Jeff probably
do that.
gets a cent, right? You're kicking a
Okay,
couple
all right.
cents to Josh
All right.
Schwartz.
All right, but
I
I'll
don't
say
know.
this. Jeff Bezos, if you're out there, and get the word to him, tweet to him that any money he makes off the OC tonight, he better donate to charity.
He better do it.
And then find a gif of someone going like this.
Yeah, you better be better.
Do you think every night he gets a printout and it's like, it's a 14 cents from this episode of the OC? It's just everything.
I know.
I think he gets a printout, and I think he gets on that old printer paper with the holes at the side.
The dot matrix is like,
Yeah.
and it's like, we sold 40 copies of Dune today. Congratulations.
I think it has like an old-timey stock market ticker where it's like a little piece of paper and he's holding it up and he's like, a laundry bag, $2.50. It's like every transaction.
You can also buy the episodes on YouTube, apparently, but it'll be fine. Okay, let's start.
Don't give your money to Johnny Tubes, the owner of YouTube.
Before we start, can we set a stretch goal for 2,750 and a stretch goal for 3,000?
Sure.
Is that for today or
For today.
Okay.
We are at 25.41 and 69 cents there.
Right. So I want a 27.50 and I want a 30.
That's great job, guys.
And great job you.
That is true. Great job you, David.
Actually, great job you.
Great job, you, David.
Actually, David.
Did Mad Dog Mattis? He wrote that thing in the Atlantic this week, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Although.
So your coworkers
he
now,
had
right?
an
He's your
exclusive
coworker
on that or something.
Your coworker.
Didn't he write it for the Atlantic? So he's like your coworker now.
He's like your coworker.
What's he like?
Sure.
You work.
What's he like? What's he like?
Jimmy Mattis.
Yeah.
Jimmy M.
Jimbo.
Pretty serious. Dude. Taciturn.
So wait, tell me what you say to him then.
Ooh,
what question do you ask him? What question do you ask him about being serious?
Are you saying that I should Joker Jim, former Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis?
That's
Yeah.
good. Jimbo,
Next time you see him,
why so
why
serious?
so serious?
Why so serious?
Why
Is this
so
something you guys have been doing a lot?
No.
This is
Why
brand
so
new,
serious, Jim?
brand new bit.
Or
brand
is
new
it
bit.
a bit? Why so serious, Jim?
Why
Oh,
so
here we go.
serious?
How
We're-
are-
Let's
We should kick off the
let's
episode,
put
but
a
I do want to know
smile on
how
his face.
season 3 of Arliss was.
4.
Four.
We'll tell you once we kick off.
Okay.
All right,
Wait,
here we go.
wait.
One,
Hold on. I don't. Hold on.
What?
I know that I was on this episode of the OC. Okay.
Yeah.
But what's it about?
Okay. It is funny because it is a very plotty episode of the OC because
Give
it's
us the background we need to understand this episode.
I'll
Watto,
try.
have you ever seen the OC, Watto?
I watched
Don't call it that.
standard episodes only in season 1.
I have never seen the OC. George, have you seen the OC?
Don't call it that.
What do you want me to call it, George? OC?
Okay.
I dropped the?
Yeah, it's cleaner.
Just O. Just O. Like Tim Blake Nelson's movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the O.C SEA, which is this episode, is the penultimate episode of the second season. So there's a lot of dramatic storylines that are converging right now. There's a lot going on because they're getting everything set up for their big finale, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it all the funnier that George Lucas also dropped in for a funny cameo this week. But I don't know.
This episode airs the same week that Revenge of the Sith comes out.
Right, which I guess that was the.
It's like,
What was the fucking meeting where they were like, how should we promote Revenge of the Sith on the OC? George should drop by.
Now, OC is still at its peak right now.
I would say so, but the season 1, it was the phenomenon season.
Yeah.
Season 2, I feel like people are starting to get a little,
When
it's getting a little worn.
When does Misha die?
She dies at the end of season 3.
spoiler!
Sorry.
Oh,
So
Misha-
in season
Misa, so
Barton?
serious.
Misha
in
Barton?
season,
Misa, so serious.
I'm hearing Misha might be the next Joker. I'm hearing some rumors on that.
She's very twisted.
Misha, so serious.
From what I remember, and I did recently rewatch the OC, one of your big storylines, there's a love triangle between, you got Seth Cohen, everyone's favorite nerd,
Mhm.
right? You got Summer Roberts, the high school sweetheart, that he's always had a crush on, and he dated, and then they broke up. But and then you got Zach, the sort of cornpone water polo jock guy who dates Summer, right?
Zach.
But he also likes comic books, and so he and Seth start working on a comic book together.
Oh.
And so then it's like, the three of them are embroiled in work and in love.
Okay.
And so in this week, their big comic book might be getting like a movie deal or a TV deal or something. That's how George comes in.
Okay, so we should start the episode now.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Previously on the OC.
OC.
Get some good
What-
Charles Widmore in this episode.
Yeah, so Charles Widmore, Alan Dale, played Caleb Nichol, the villain, he's the dad he's the grandpa of Seth Cohen, and he's a real estate tycoon, and he's always causing trouble for the OC.
I like how fast that truck went.
Can I share an opinion that Watto
Like-
has
it was
held
like
on to
Wuhl.
for a long time?
Sure.
Not to be crass, but Watto always thought far and away the most attractive female cast member on the OC was the mother.
Oh, you're like Kiki Cohen. You're a Kirsten Cohen fan.
Because I remember people were fighting, are you more of a Misha? Are you more of a Bilson? And I was like, Kiki, baby.
Right, and there was also, there was some Samir Armstrong energy, if you remember.
Right. Well, if we're talking about recurrings, yes, Samara Armstrong,
Right.
Olivia Wilde.
Yes, she popped
wait.
up. She played a
Dave, I have
bisexual
a question.
club owner.
Yes.
Dave, I have a question.
Shoot.
Is this the scene where they go, "Ooh, what you say? Ooh, what you only went well."
Because
Is this one? Is this that scene?
Here's what I want to tell you that might blow your mind. That's literally the next episode.
Oh,
Is
stretch
it
goal.
this
What's
room?
the next episode? What's the stretch goal?
3,600.
3,600.
No, I'll say
the next.
I'll say stretch goal. Let's make that the stretch goal for 3.
Wait, say that again.
The stretch goal for 3 is to watch the next episode.
3,000.
Yes.
Right. So if
No.
you want some context on this scene, yes, we've got Ryan Atwood, the muscle-bound kid from
Ooh, what you
Chino who lives with a
say?
rich family, and he's got a brother, Trey, and his brother is played by erstwhile sci-fi movie star Logan Marshall Green.
Oh, Prometheus
This
is
was his. Exactly. Diet Pepsi, Tom Hardy himself, Logan Marshall Green.
David,
Exactly, the
is
star
this
of
the
Upgrade.
room? Is this the room where the shooting happens?
No, this is the pool house.
Why does
where
it look
Ryan
so
lives.
much? They just light every room to look like that room. It looks like the
Yeah,
room, right?
you know how these,
Ooh, what
you know,
you said.
Hey, wait, George, please, let's focus for a
Yeah.
second. Right back where we started
started
from, California.
Okay. Jason Schwartzman,
Yeah, he's banging the drums.
California.
You know,
that's
I've
where
always
that's my
meant to find out. Do you think Jason Schwartzman gets a nickel every time someone watches the OC?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
Right?
Sports.
Now,
Man.
now here's the thing
Much
that
more the youngest TV showrunner in history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use to quote my friend Mel, use the Schwartz.
Guest starring Wet Hot American Summer's own Marguerite Moreau.
Yes, she plays the agent or whatever, the manager of
The
comic book
Arliss of this show.
She's a bit of an Arliss figure. Yes, 100%.
Can I say I'm sensing like a real difference in energy between the 3 of us who have now been on camera for going on 7 hours and you who are still coherent. Like are saying things that make sense in the correct order.
Ooh,
Right,
George,
Here's what I know.
Hey,
Here's
guys,
what I know.
want context on season 2 of the OC, and you guys are just leading it to the camera and shouting, "Why so
California!
George. Guest
Why
starring.
so Schwartz?
Yeah, George, you made the credit block. Congratulations.
I insisted.
But you didn't get the and, George.
I was going to ask,
Don't
does he
need
get
it.
an and
Don't
or
need
a
it.
win?
I
Do you
said
know who
drop.
got
I said
the
drop the and. Drop the and. It's cleaner.
Do you know who got
Navi
the and?
Rawat got the
Yeah,
end.
it's
right?
your buddy
Yes.
James. Your buddy James. Navi.
Jimmy.
What?
Navi Rawat, who is went from
Now,
this show
I
to
know-
CBS's Numbers. Do you remember that show?
Number 3 years. Number
About
3 years.
cops who use numbers to solve crimes.
It sounds like George's.
Don't you make fun of that show.
I actually
that-
like Numbers. It was fun.
It's a great show with great
Yeah.
character actors, and they use math and they solve mysteries.
I always
is this-
liked
is
Numbers,
this
but it
the
always
hospital?
felt like it.
Is this
Wait,
was that the hospital where they go after the "Ooh, what you said" shooting?
yes, I assume so. Yes,
It was?
There's only one hospital.
No,
Is
because
that where
sometimes,
Misha goes?
sometimes they'll reuse the hospital sets.
Yeah,
And
no,
is that
they-
where we
they're always-
assume that after the "Ooh, what you said" shooting?
That's where the victim of the "Ooh, what you say" probably ends up. Yeah,
Wait, is Bill Hader in the Ooh, What You Say video?
The,
he
the
and
sketch,
you mean in the SNL sketch?
Yeah.
the spoof.
Isn't he dating Rachel Bilson now?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Isn't that crazy?
Ooh, what you said.
Ooh,
Yeah.
hey.
You know what else? Rachel Bilson's dad is a credited screenwriter on the new Spike Lee movie because they took his script and they rewrote it. Danny Bilson.
Wow.
So there you go.
Premiering on Netflix soon.
On Netflix this Friday, I believe.
Do you remember?
Did you talk to anybody at the Atlantic about the James Mattis editorial? Were you CC'd on any
actually-
emails about it?
Sure, yeah, of course.
Don't lie. This isn't a bit show. I'm asking you. You're a journalist. You have to tell the truth.
I have had internal conversations about it. Sure.
All right. When I ask you a question as a journalist, you can't pretend that you're on your podcast doing bits. You have to tell the truth.
This is a
No,
no.
it's true. It's just
Ethically.
I can't talk about some things.
But this is
Yeah,
for
then say
charity.
that. Don't do a bit.
No bits.
Doing a bit as a journalist is it's a problem.
It's fair. It's fair.
You have
I
your
am
podcast
restricted
hat,
by-
and then you do nothing but bits. Take
George,
that
I
off
gotta
and put on
tell
your
you,
journalism hat.
it's tough, especially in a loaded, political time like this, to wear those two hats. I am restricted by my job.
It's tough for me
True.
to wear hats because I had to tape my
All right.
hat to the wall as a stretch goal. Can I point out something?
Wait, I'm sorry.
They're gonna
A
start
circle
calling you.
was
They're gonna
just
start
taping
calling you.
a hat.
Yeah, they're gonna
I'll
start
tell
calling you Wallow. Wallow.
We promised that as a stretch goal. We had already passed it before I had the chance to finish explaining it. People were so eager to see that hat taped to the wall.
I don't even remember.
What does it add?
It happened so fast, I didn't even get a chance to write down how much it was.
Yeah,
That's great.
It was
You guys are raising
It was
money.
the hottest. It was the hottest stretch goal. Hey, what are we at now, money wise?
We're at $2,611.69.
All right, so guys, if
All
you're
right.
watching the show, here's Zach and Seth. You got Seth, the Jewish nerd, and Zach, the sort of
the waspy.
Midwestern.
Do either of these guys get shot in the what you said shooting?
No, they are both spared.
Who gets
All right,
shot?
good.
Who gets shot?
It's Logan Marshall Green. He gets shot.
Hey, spoiler.
That sounds like 3 people. That sounds like 2 people in a color.
Logan and Marshall Green. Logan of old man Logan, and then Marshall Green. It's two guys.
Yeah, Marshall Brickman, the co-screenwriter of Manhattan.
Of course.
Now, let's add. What's the next stretch goal amount? I will
think it
go
was-
sit on the. I'll go swing on the
No,
porch swing
no,
for a
George, you
second.
can't swing. No,
Yes.
I think the next goal was $3,000. We watched the next episode, the shooting
question
episode.
is, can we
No,
set
no, I want to talk about that.
anything?
We should exceed our amount to have to watch another episode. We should exceed last week's.
Yeah, you guys must be so sleepy.
May I say
am.
2 things? May I quickly please say 2 things to try to bring order to this live stream, okay? Patrick, I agree. I think that watching the next episode of the OC with you, what you say, shooting, should be the stretch goal to surpass the number we raised last week.
Deal.
But there is a bottleneck, which is we currently have another incentive sitting at that point.
We got to swap it. We got to swap it back down.
Got to
I
swap
agree
it.
with what I second what you're about to say.
Fine.
At $3,000, Patrick has to draw a Star Wars character on his foot. Now, David, Patrick has drawn a droid on one foot. What is the name of this character?
I don't remember.
R5D foot. R5D foot.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And someone else named the other droid.
There are 2 options. It can either be
C3P toes.
C3P toes
Yeah.
or TC footy. So that is the goal for $3,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deal. Sure.
We need to establish a goal for 2,750. We have to mind that gap, Bing Lu style. So what is the intermediate goal for 2,750? George wants.
May I suggest something?
What?
David has to violate his journalistic ethics
That's not going to
on
happen.
camera. You can pick it. It can be a small thing. It can be the smallest thing. You just have to do something that violates.
I am here as your honored guest, George Lucas.
David,
I know, and this is for charity. It can be small. It can be something that no other journalist would care about, but you know in your heart it is the smallest of journalistic violations.
Like,
David, wait.
something tiny, like burning a source.
Here's what we can do.
Burn a source for one of your TV reviews.
What if someone donates $200 and David whispers a little secret in their ear?
How are we going to make this happen?
Yeah,
He can call them on like a restricted number, so they don't have his number.
Jesus, this sounds so complicated. Also, what secret?
No. This is what I think we should say. David, this is what I think we should say. Can you think of a goal for 2,750? Let's not throw things at you that make you uncomfortable. Let's let you suggest something.
I have one.
Down to that.
But
And
then what's 3,000?
Hey, you watch the Dearly Beloved of the OC. You watch the next episode.
No.
How about if we reach that goal, you will say on camera or maybe even tweet that the Pacific is better than the Atlantic.
Oh wow, the ocean-wise, the
miniseries that my buddy Steve produced with Tom Hanks
is better than the August institution, the Atlantic. that has existed since the 1850s and was founded on the abolition of slavery.
Yes.
But you know, that follow-up to Band of Brothers that was pretty good. That definitely kicks its ass.
You can even admit in your tweet that you're doing this for charity.
In
I'm not
Atomic
tweeting
Country.
that. No, that's
He
not
might
happening.
want to
What?
make it as his next movie.
Okay, George, you just got mentioned.
Oh, okay.
This is, by the way, George. We can talk stretch goals in a second, but the most ludicrous plot line that George Lucas, after doing 3 Star Wars prequels, is like, "Hey, do any high schoolers have a comic book I can fuck around with?"
George, who famously loves adapting other people's work.
There's Marguerite Moreau in her her blazer.
Now, wait, can I say something? While I think you need to provide a stretch goal for 2,750, something.
Of course, me showing up,
That was 25.
That was 25.
So now we want the stretch goal. It doesn't have to be all on you, but maybe something you take part in. I want you to think about it. It can be very silly. Many of the stretch goals have involved taping things to walls or eating Jell-O. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Don't put your career at risk. But while you're thinking that over, we got the new Watto that I should read, right? I saw Watto posted in the private chat.
Oh, yes. Let's do that.
So, David, do you know that if someone donates $100, they get the Watto, which is like a cameo, except it's better because it's Watto. It's Watto marked right here. And I say whatever you want me to say. Okay, ready? And this is from Pete Russell. This is for Pete Russell. Hey, listen up, you motherfuckers. Have you run out of things to do on the internet? You're stuck at home. You've reached the end of the internet. You reached the end of Netflix weeks ago, and now you've run out of websites. Well, there's one you have not checked yet. It is, as Pete Russell himself would describe it, a very dumb blog. And I'm using his words here. This is what Pete does. He eats a lot of pizza. And he decided that this year he's going to keep track of and review every single slice of pizza he eats in the year 2020, a very normal year. So if this sounds like the kind of internet content you want, I, Watto, am recommending you go to Pete's Pizza Diary.tumblr.com. Something had to replace all the Tumblr porn that has been removed. And that thing is Pete's Pizza Diary.tumblr.com, and read about the guy eating a slice of pizza.
I love a pizza diary.
I do too. Now, where's that stretch goal, Davey?
I'm sorry. I was transfixed by this showdown between Caleb and Kiki.
Hey, Watto, I do believe you have one more Watto.
Is it the previous one that I had from Andrew?
Yeah. Did you end up finding anything?
Hold on. I'm still digging. I feel like he brought up a very specific thing that needs to look through his internet archives to be able to perform.
So, David, what else is happening in this episode?
Well, so we've got a little situation here with Ryan. I don't even know what's going on right now. Here's the marina, and there's Summer. She's listening to some sweet tunes on her cool 2005 headphones. Look at these baggy pants they all have. What a baggy time it was. Right. So here's the thing. It's the prom. The OC is the prom. It's been branded that for some reason. I guess it's ocean themed.
Oh, that's where the title of the episode comes from. Okay.
Correct. And so they both want to take her to the prom, and they're saying that she has to choose. Like they're sick of fighting. It's just like up to her.
This is a Luke, Leia, Han. Which one's the Han? Which one's the Luke? I know who's the Leia. It's the woman.
I would say.
Oh no, I know. Blondie is the Luke.
Yes, I would say Blondie's more of a Luke, and Seth is more of a Han.
Guys, we're at 26, 96, 69.
We need a goal for 2750.
Why do I have to think? I can barely think of anything.
Because every time we suggest something to you, you're suddenly afraid of breaking journalistic.
Your goals seem to mostly be.
What do you have on your shelves? David, what do you have on your shelves?
What are on those shelves?
What do you have on your shelves?
We threw it
That's
out.
all my DVDs and my Blu-rays and stuff.
Okay, here I go. I got it. David, at $27.50, will you show our viewers your Steelbook collection? Will you run
Sure.
through the Steelbooks you own?
It's not a big collection, as you probably don't know, but my friend Griffin Newman knows because I only recently got started.
This guy.
You got to stop
How
bringing
come
him
you're?
up.
Yeah, how come you're never hanging around and you talk about him so much?
I mean, it's a quarantine.
Yeah.
But
that's
let
why
me ask
I'm
you this.
saying,
All right, sure. I'll show off the
Right, because
steals.
asking you to show off every Blu-ray, we don't have the time for that. Steelbook you can show.
David, do you own any of the original like the first Star Wars trilogy, the sequel trilogy?
I do. I
4,
own
5,
it
and
all.
6. 4, 5, and
I
6.
own. Yeah, I own 1 to 6.
Okay.
You don't own 7,
you
8,
don't
or
have to
9?
do anything. You don't have to do anything to 1 to 3. But will you destroy your copies of 4, 5, and 6 since those are unapproved, unauthorized work
The
prints?
versions I have are your versions. They're all
Nope.
updated.
Unless you made pirated copies of the Disney Plus edits. No, they're not.
I see, because McClunky is not involved.
Yes. And I know there's no other changes in the other 2 movies, but McClunky affects the way you watch the other 2 movies. Will you just destroy those discs on camera? I'm not even saying it as a stretch goal. Will you do it? I'm just telling you to do it.
No. There's no way.
Do you know?
I love my nice Star Wars thing.
What if George buys you a new set?
Well, that would be weird because then I'd have to destroy it again.
Yes, yeah, of course. But I will buy you a new set and you destroy it again. So you're already conceding that you will destroy. You're basically.
Oh, that's old. That's like
No,
2
it's
versions.
old.
That's like 2
Exactly.
versions ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Do me a
I
favor.
love
Do me a
it.
favor. How about this? You have a wastebasket?
Sure.
Okay.
A waste paper basket.
Sure.
All right. Will you
For my
hold it
waste
up on
paper.
camera? Will you hold it up on camera and just drop it into the basket and say, "I'm done with this trash"?
I'll do that as a stretch goal if you don't want the steals, but I'm not gonna do it.
No,
just
as
for
a
your
stretch
own
goal.
entertainment.
As a stretch goal, I want you to. Can you take the camera into wherever you have a water faucet?
What?
I can't. By the way, I cannot.
Just hold it. Just hold it. Just turn the faucet on, and then all I want you to do is hold the box under the faucet and let the water pour on it for about a minute. Okay, how about this? Okay, I understand you don't want to do that. Do you have a gun?
Don't have any handguns. No.
Second
Do you have a hammer? Do you have a hammer?
I probably.
Okay. Can you take the hammer and just hit that box as hard as you can with the hammer until it's destroyed?
Why? But George,
Yeah.
look.
You can keep it. I just want it to be unplayable.
That one though. Come on.
Perfect.
You want me to destroy these?
Perfect.
No, not the prequels. Not the prequels.
Perfect.
Look at those.
Perfect.
And then okay.
Oh, unfinished.
Ah!
Rough
I'm
draft. Unfinished. Work
Ugh.
print.
Mostly finished.
This appears to be a bonus disc, and I
Yeah,
guess,
keep the bonus.
Yes.
Keep the
Look
bonus.
at those Ewoks there. That's a pretty nice
They're
Ewok.
great.
it
They're
looks
great. Oh, do you have the Ewok movies on DVD?
like. No, I do not.
Oh wow, big fan.
Those are
Big fan doesn't want to throw away his rough cuts, but he won't even bother to order the MGM DVD release of the 2 Ewok movies, which are canon, which are finished. They are locked.
Why does MGM own the rights to that?
I believe only overseas.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an import.
How about
David.
this? I will order them.
Whoa! Right
You
now
will?
on the camera.
Let's make it a stretch goal. Let's make it. I don't know that they're available to order anymore.
Yeah,
I think you
really?
missed your chance.
You can get them places.
Yeah.
What are we at
They're
right now,
expensive now.
Patrick?
Let's see what we're at.
Wait, she's bloody. Is that from the What You Said shooting?
No,
You sure?
I am sure.
We're at
She-
27.56.
Okay, so David, go get those Blu-rays, the steel books.
Oh, you want the steals?
We hit the stretch goal. Now, can I point out something I am astonished we have not brought up until this point?
Yeah.
What?
Everyone was so astounded by the fact that Bill Hader, who's in the what you said, oh my God, steels are falling. This is like a Faulty Towers sketch. How weird to see someone who has lived in New York City his entire life doing John Cleese-esque physical humor.
Wait.
By the way,
Hang on.
By the
hang
way,
on.
a DVD of the Ewoks is $350.
Hang on, David.
You promised. It's
Wait.
for a good cause. You promised.
David, wait. You don't have to do it yet
No.
because
No.
we're at 27:27. I'm sorry. There's a weird math thing.
Oh my God. Well, at least they're ready. At least they're ready.
Someone said you
and
can do Ewok
it's
movies
very-
for $25 with free
Yeah.
shipping.
Can
Not
I-
only can you have the DVD, they will deliver it to your house, your home, for no dollars extra. Free shipping.
Can I
Wow.
say this thing I have been trying to say for 20 minutes now?
What?
Yeah.
Everyone was freaking out, flipping the fuck out over the fact that Bill Hader in the Dear Sister parody is now dating Rachel Bilson from the OC. And oh my God, can you believe that connection? Rachel Bilson was married to Hayden Christensen.
That's right. She was.
I think had kids, right?
Yeah,
They had multiple kids, and then
they
they
were
recently
married
got
for like
divorced.
a decade, and we weren't.
Yeah, they were
talking
married for a
about
long time. No, it's the strangest thing. She dates Adam Brody while they're making the OC.
Right.
Eventually, they break up. She
Yeah.
marries Hayden Christensen, who she meets on the set of Jumper.
Mhm.
And then Adam Brody marries Leighton Meester, who was on a different Josh Schwartz show.
And do you
The
know who
Gossip
she?
Girl.
Wait, do you know who she's in Jumper with?
Samuel
Hayden
L. Jackson,
Christensen and
Samuel
Samuel Jackson.
Mace Windu.
Yeah.
And
Well,
wait a second,
I have to say,
Bill Hader, who she is now with, little bit of BB-8.
That's
that's
true.
a big.
He's-
I'm sorry. That's a big step down from Anakin Skywalker, the hero and the villain of 3 Star Wars movies,
You have
down to a guy who helped make the bleeps and bloops for BB-8.
George, would you say that Hayden's actually in 4 Star Wars movies? Because he is in Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's in Rise of
great.
Skywalker.
And you hear him in Rise of Skywalker. Robert.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. But you didn't.
Regular.
That's not. That's.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I think the only I guess like 3PO and R2 are ahead of they're in that club. It's
Yeah.
the 5 Timers Club. It's like Lauren's thing on SNL, the 5 Timers Club.
George, have you ever been on SNL?
I went to the party.
Yeah.
We're at the
Went to
40th.
the-
By the
Yeah.
way, what's happening in the OC right now is Julie Cooper,
Yes.
the sort of conniving divorcee of the show, currently married to villainous Caleb Nickel, is pondering poisoning him because he's trying to divorce her. She's sort of having second thoughts. Look at this great bar set, by the way. This is a great bad bar.
Caleb is Charles Whitmore. David, you have to show us your steelbooks. We hit the point.
All right, so we got the Fifth Element. Look at this one. Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, very nice art. I really like that.
George, keep singing Cantina while Dave shows us his steelbook.
Here we got a Fargo. This one's pretty regular.
Shout Factory. Yes.
Yeah, very nice though.
That's a 1080p. That's not a 4K.
Whatever. Here's Escape from New York. There's a bunch of these sort of horror ones.
Yes. Shout
Oh,
Factory.
Watto, you might be into this one. Doctor Sleep. Look at that.
No, I think that's Patrick.
I know that's Patrick likes that one.
Patrick would love
Look
that
at
because he
that.
sleeps
Look at
all the
that.
fucking time. Yes.
Oh, here I got this casino
Ah,
where they're all playing cards.
show the front cover. Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa.
dramatic.
Look at those guys.
Yeah.
Here we've got. I really like this one. The Bridge on the River Kwai. See, the bridge is.
Starring.
And then,
Oh,
Ah,
Guinness, Oscar-winning performance, and here the bridge is now built. See,
wow.
and then it gets
Wait,
blown
and who's in Doctor Sleep?
Oh, and
up. Ewan
Oh,
McGregor.
yeah, and look at that Bridge on the River Kwai poster again. Let me see that design. It looks kind of like the Rolling Stones logo with the big tongue. And I was a cameraman on Gimme Shelter, where a man died.
Fair enough. Yep, at Altamont. Here's Boys in the Hood. This is a pretty new one. This one just came out. It's got a little map. of Compton. Here, this one I like a lot. This is Alita. Look at Alita.
Battle Angel.
That one's cool. It's black on the back. It's just her hand.
Gary,
There feels like there should be a George connected person in Alita.
Fuck. Who's in Alita? You got Mahershala.
Christoph, Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
Oh, Jennifer Connelly. Labyrinth. Yes, Jennifer Connelly. Labyrinth. Alita.
Yeah, there it is. Ass to ass.
Stargate, which we recently covered on my podcast, Blank Check. Stargate, pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the first half of that title.
Look at that.
Oh boy.
That's where we all go a little mad.
Yes.
And here, in a comparison with Doctor Sleep, we got The Shining.
Ooh, it is the prequel to Doctor Sleep.
Yes.
And another horror one here. We got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a quote from Rex Reed on the Steelbook. Do you think Rex Reed, who I once ate dinner opposite,
and who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Toby Hooper.
Yeah, who then helped out my buddy Steve on Poltergeist.
Hey, George, what does Darth Vader say?
I am your father.
No, how does he breathe?
Where are we going with this?
I don't get it either.
All right. Anyway, here's Knives Out from Star Wars director Rian Johnson.
Yes, we had Noah Segan on the live stream 6 hours ago.
Oh, that's nice.
And we watched, and one of the episodes of Arliss is a shot-for-shot ringer for Knives Out. I'm convinced that Knives Out is just a Gus Van Sant remake of that episode of Arliss.
I forgot that I own this. I might throw this on tonight. Here is The Hunt for Red October, submarine movie, dang classic.
Yeah. Dr. Henry Jones Sr.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
We named the dog Red October.
Ghost in the Shell. Look at Ghost in the Shell. Very
She talks in the sub.
Big fan of that. Oh, and here, of course, also covered on my podcast, The Great Gemini Man.
High frame rate.
High frame rate. We've got both
Great high frame rate. Looks great.
Two Willies.
And then another Carpenter, The Fog.
Too foggy. I can't even see.
May the fog be with you.
Starring Jamie Lee Curtis, star of Knives Out.
That's true. That is all the steals.
That's the steel books.
It's a good collection, and don't
David Sim, Man of Steel, the original Man of Steel, David Sims.
That was great.
I do love my steals.
Thank you, David. Do you know what my favorite thing is about, especially like we're going longer than usual this week because we added on the OC episode. My favorite thing about these late night streams is when the light goes down, the sunlight in George's terrace in Marin County, and suddenly his framing becomes like that of a Hammer horror film. Right?
He really does.
Incredibly close to the screen at like a canted angle, lit only by candle.
It's also so wild.
He's like subbing in for Elvira.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
7 p.m. It's 7 p.m. in Marin County. Why is it that dark, George?
Climate change, and also the curfew.
Climate changes the sun.
Yes.
The curfew changed. This is not just how it looks; it's how it feels.
Curfew's done, George. We're moved on.
I feel like we're getting close to George's appearance.
We are
on the show. Not quite yet. All right, because here's Summer. Here, the limo's pulling up, and Summer's waiting to see who's taking her to prom. It's
going to be
the big sort of water polo boy.
Do what you say.
I'm glad
he's turning lights on. Now he's getting self-conscious, and he didn't like me making fun of him looking like he was in a horror movie.
And so here we've got.
Now I look like I'm at.
Here's the prom. This
really
is the OC.
Yes,
guys, we are at $27.97, which means we are almost $200 away from having to watch the next episode of the OC. You have 12 minutes to get us $200, or else the stream is done.
Yeah, and then what will you do? Think about it. Then what will you do?
Then what will you do?
And then for 35, you do the foot.
Yeah.
How about this? Let's to get us halfway, to get us a few there. For $5 more, David will write on a piece of paper something that, if he were to say it out loud, it would be a violation of his journalistic ethics.
Oh, George, it's you.
George,
hold on, everybody.
George.
Seltzer.
In full bullfrog mode, by the way.
Yeah.
See now
Oh,
his
I
beard.
tell you what, I'm glad Patrick Hotnar wasn't there on set that day
Why?
because I am a snack.
Isn't it weird that George Lucas, Marguerite Moreau, and Adam Brody
Yes.
shot a scene? And so he brings up this prom thing he's
Right.
dealing with.
Right.
Prom?
And George Lucas
Just,
is immediately like, oh,
prom?
prom.
Guys, should
Go
I
to
try
my
to reach
prom.
out to Marguerite Moreau?
Yes.
Prom?
All right, this week I will reach out.
He
Ewoks.
mentions that he spent his
I mentioned
his
Jar Jar. I
teenage
mentioned the
years
Ewoks.
drawing Ewoks and Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
That is true. When I was in high school,
like-
I drew the Ewoks and Jar Jar Binks.
But see,
George Lucas was like, I'll be on George. You were like, I'll be on the OC if I get to mention that Jar Jar Binks has been in the sketchbook since high school.
Since pre-Altamont.
yes.
Pre-Altamont Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
Yeah, you dropped American Graffiti there.
Yeah.
And you felt inadequate making a movie about.
They cut
not
a lot.
going-
I filmed a lot more than they used. I mentioned everything.
2857, guys. 2857.
Now, does this not feel like George is functioning as the Wolfman Jack
Yes.
to Adam
Right.
Brody's
Yeah,
Richard Dreyfuss?
100%.
Like, here's this scene in the
100%.
middle of the night. It's like a reference on top of a reference in which he goes to this man for advice, and the advice he gets is not what he expects. George Lucas
Exactly.
said,
And it's like,
not
you
going
know,
to prom was the biggest mistake I ever made.
and you've got Zach here who's having the opposite. I mean, the grass is always greener, guys. Like Zach thinks he should be palling around with old Bullfrog George.
Yes.
And Adam thinks he should be smooching. I mean, Seth thinks he should be smooching Summer
Yes.
on the dance floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a coincidence that Rachel Bilson kind of looks like Natalie Portman?
I think that Rachel Bilson, I think a lot of the, this is
No,
that
I think
era,
it's
right?
deliberate. I think it's
No, but I'm
deliberate.
asking about from a Hayden standpoint.
From a Hayden standpoint.
Wow.
Hayden's gonna hate.
Hayden's gonna hate.
I would have loved Nat if Rachel Bilson had been in Star Wars. That would have been great. She should have.
Hayden's gonna hate her. Hayden's gonna hate her.
Oh my gosh.
I would switch him. I'd full switch.
Hater's gonna Hayden.
2917, guys. 2917.
Oh, you guys are
How
doomed.
far-
You're gonna have
how-
to watch another one of these.
How
fucking
far?
things.
How many minutes to get to the Ooh What You Said episode?
It's $83. It's amazing that David said you guys are going to watch another one of these things. Like he's not going to have
Yeah.
to stick
Where are
around.
you gonna go, David? You're gonna turn it off and sit there quietly in the room and pick your
George, you're back.
steel.
George, you're back on
Watch your. You're gonna watch your steelbook of Fargo.
George is back. We have 10 minutes to make up. What is it? $40.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make it.
Hang on.
We're not
we just
gonna
made
make
another-
it.
We made another 25.
No
What
one
are we
cares enough.
42?
No one cares enough about the protesters to make it to this goal.
No.
Yeah, you guys. I don't think you guys care at all.
I don't think they care enough about helping people not get the disease.
I think the people watching this live stream are a bunch of
Cowards.
cowards.
And
Cowards.
paupers.
You knew exactly
Cowards
what I
and
was going to
paupers.
say, George. Cowards. The lot of
And
them.
paupers.
They won't let us get to 3,000.
Now
We
you
don't-
got him swapping here.
Oh,
and
we
then-
don't want to get to 3,000. We don't want to watch another one. Don't make us.
Don't make
Oh, look, he's got his steelbooks out. He what's his name?
He's gonna watch Shaun
Cody?
of-
Is this Cody? Cody?
Cody.
Well, what's his name?
That is Sandy, played by Peter.
Sandy
Gallagher.
has his steelbooks out. Is that where you got the idea, David?
Yes. When I saw Sandy holding a DVD, I thought I got to get into these movies.
Fun fact: his collection. If you look on close, it's your exact stack. Thanks. You based your steelbook collection off of Sandy's.
Stephen King was watching this episode and was
Oh.
like, I should write a prequel to The Shining or a sequel.
Exactly. Sandy had an extreme early.
This
cut.
scene feels like it's on Nab. Are they on Naboo?
Here's another thing I want to say that's absolutely dates this show so tremendously. This scene is the first time Coldplay's song "Fix You" was ever played to the public. It debuted on this episode of the OC.
Yeah.
Lucy?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It was exclusive. Even though
That's
now
true.
I feel like the newsroom has a more famous, embarrassing use of that song.
Well, because they re-edited it so it was longer than the episode of the newsroom.
Guys,
They re-edited
29
the song "Fix You" so it is actually longer than the episode that it was featured in. I don't know how they did it.
29.60 and 69 cents. $40.
$40 away.
I bet there are not 40 people who are willing to donate $1 to help people.
Oh, wait, hang on. $10 away.
What?
No way. We'll never make it. How many minutes are left in the episode? That means we'd have to make almost $1 a minute in order to carry through this.
George, let's keep negging them. You're a bunch of cowards.
We're at prom.
Cowardly
Wait,
people
guys, we're over
who
it.
don't like
We're
helping.
over it.
All right. Well, I knew. Thank you for being generous, everyone. Sorry we had to be mean about it. Sorry we had to neg you into getting here, but so we're gonna watch the What You Said episode after this.
We're gonna watch the What You Said episode.
Thanks for sticking around, David.
They're just talking about DVDs too on this. They show DVDs. They talk about DVDs. Yeah. Good God, David! No wonder you love this show.
This is the most brightly lit prom I have ever seen in my entire life.
What? I'm gonna start calling you Davey D.
Fair enough.
Now, David, you might know the answer to this question. Was this show shown in widescreen?
Yes.
Or are we cropped out? Are we cropped out?
2005.
Oh, I believe this is an HD widescreen show.
Yes.
Yeah. At this point.
Now, are we losing? Are we losing information, or are we gaining it?
I think gaining.
I think gaining. Too.
I think this show was tip of the spear in terms of actually.
We are watching a special edition. Throw out your old square ones, David. Throw out your square VHSs of this.
The first season, I'm pretty sure, was shot on 16 millimeter, like a lot of old TV shows, which is sort of a weird thing to think about now. But I think by this time they might have upgraded to HD.
Is it just me, or does it feel like George is hitting a state that previously took over 10 hours to reach?
What?
How long have you guys been going? 7 hours?
We've been going 7 hours and 8 minutes right now.
That's like a drop in the bucket. We did 30 like it was nothing.
Yeah, all of us did 30 straight hours. Every single one of us.
Nope. Someone napped for 29 of those hours.
Yeah.
Stop putting that up.
They really rag on you.
Yeah, it's not fun. David, you know this. I was not a part of this show. I wouldn't being a part.
Patrick, I wouldn't expect you to like this because it is neither a snack nor a nap.
No. You only like two types of things.
I'm sorry that I'm sorry that you don't like talking about this, but in fairness, there's no way that we could talk about this in the form of either a snack or a nap.
Well, now, just to update everyone on the show, Seth is making a romantic overture to Summer at the prom.
He finally showed up to the prom because of George.
Right.
So George is in the finale too? George is in the finale too?
No, this is George's only.
He's not recurring?
He's not. They didn't keep him on. He was.
They're not like setting him up to come back in season 3 as a regular?
It would have been fun.
That would be fun.
George.
You want
when
to know
you
what
try your best, but you don't succeed.
My main takeaway from watching George.
When you get what you want, but not what you need.
In this episode 15 years ago.
When you feel so tired, but you can't sleep.
Versus George of
Stuck in rhythm.
I think it's very good that George grew his beard out.
When the tears come streaming down your face.
Because in this episode, when he tried to shave a strong jaw,
something you can't replace.
Right. The line is a problem.
It made him look like a goddamn bull.
When you love someone, but it's going to waste.
Right. He looks so much better.
What could be worse?
A full hearty beard.
Lights will guide you home and knock your bones.
It's so funny
and
because
I will try to fix you. You know, I'll finish that song. I'll finish that song maybe at the end of the episode when I feel like it. But I feel like that song
now.
You know what? That song speaks to me because you know what they wrote that about?
What?
I don't know this for a fact. I'm just assuming because it seems obvious from the lyrics. That song is about the mid 1990s when I was looking at those rough cuts, those 3 sweet films that I'd never been able to get right.
Yes.
And I made a promise that over the course of the next 2.5 decades, I will try to fix you.
Now, David, can you explain? Because part of this episode was the woman trying to murder her husband.
Then she decides not to.
But then he falls into the pool and almost dies anyway?
He does die. This is his death scene. This is the dramatic death of Caleb Nichol. He has a heart attack anyway. It's sort of a weird have your cake and eat it soap opera thing, right?
But also Sandy has found that his wife is hiding vodka.
She likes the vodka. She likes to drink.
Was her car crash a result of driving while intoxicated?
Yes, she unfortunately has been hitting the Chardonnay a little too hard, and she's got to deal with that.
Wow.
So there's a lot of dramatic stuff going on. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's weird that George Lucas was parachuted into this very dramatic episode.
No, it makes sense. This is all. Joseph Campbell explains every move that they made in this episode.
It's like A plot, Caleb Nichol dies. B plot, Kirsten's alcoholism revealed. C plot, love triangle. D plot, George Lucas talks about the prom.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh boy.
This
And
episode
there's
has
the whole
everything.
thing. Kirsten just got in a fight with her dad before he dies, and now he's dead, so she's sad. Because she parted with him on poor terms.
Oh no.
So it's traumatic for her. Everyone's just quietly now watching the OC.
Yes.
Oh, this is a good question. Someone's asking, does George appear in the next episode's previously on segment?
It's a good question.
That feels like
guess
a contract thing.
But it's not impossible.
Lights will guide you home. Ignite your bones. And I will try to fix you. Goodbye.
Executive story editor J.J. Philbin.
Oh.
Philbin. Doug Lyman, of course, who directed the pilot, did an incredible job. One of the best things he ever directed.
All right. Well, let me know when you guys get to the beginning and we can start it at the same time.
I don't think we need the credits for this. We can just skip on to the next one.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up.
Okay. Next episode.
Okay. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Okay. So this is the season finale, Dearly Beloved.
The Dearly Beloved.
I have it queued up, ready to.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh yes, no. You famously hate watching the OC. I can't believe. Oh no, poor David Sims, lifelong New Yorker, watching the OC, a thing he hates to do.
I'm just waiting to see if George shows up here, but no, it looks like it's all, dramatic recaps. Okay.
No. One and done.
Wow.
All right, so
Is what you said at the end of the episode or near the beginning?
Is the what you say is the end of the episode? It is the thrilling
All right, so we're
climax.
building towards that.
And it's funny to think that Coldplay just debuted their song in the episode before, but Imogen Heap's "Ooh, What You Say," whatever that's actually called, Hide and Seek. That's what
Ooh,
it's
what
called,
you
right?
say?
That's the iconic
Ooh,
OC.
what you only went, Mel.
Long tail on that.
Long
David,
tail. Wasn't it? It was just used in normal people. Pat, the timer.
The timer is paused.
Pat.
Great one, Patrick.
Great.
Well,
David, when DVD began to become an obsolete format. Now you love DVDs, right? When they were coming out,
I did. I owned a lot of DVDs. I did own a lot.
And your name is literally DVD with an AI in the middle of it, which is automatically suspicious. Like
if
that.
You knock those vowels out. My name is just DVD.
Right.
Yeah, but let's not knock those vowels out because first of all, that's the name of a movie that my buddy Steve made. AI. So let's keep them there, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair
Do you own a DVD of the movie AI?
I own a DVD of the movie AI. Yes, and I believe.
Can we see it? Can we see it? Can we see it?
Go find it.
Stretch goal.
Stretch goal.
If I still have the disc, it's in a wallet somewhere.
What if it's a Blu-ray? You never upgraded?
Well, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but I think I own it online. I own it like on iTunes, and so I never bought a Blu-ray. But maybe I have. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Oh, I guess
George,
so you're not a. I guess he's not a. Guess he's not a Kubrick fan.
George, do you want to sing?
Oh, California, here we come.
Special guest star Tate Donovan.
Tate Donovan.
Tate Donovan.
I just thought of something, David. You like it when David, can you hear me?
David, can you hear us?
I don't want to waste this joke because I'm very proud of it. David.
Yeah.
You like it when a movie is packaged within a steel book, no?
I do. I love it.
Well, for AI, it's more like the movie should be packaged in a steel boy.
that boy's a robot.
Oh wow! Wait a second.
That the boy's a robot.
Look at this.
Someone's pointing out something it's true that the robot boy in AI is called David.
The boy is named David, and you can't spell David without DVD. And David owned AI on DVD. It is a perfect.
But here's the thing, Watto.
What?
Here's the thing.
Yes.
My AI DVD was Region 2.
Well, what?
Attack of the Clones.
That disc had a little 12 certificate on it. It was rated 12.
Okay.
By
Now
the boy couldn't even watch it.
The boy
I
could.
live in the United Kingdom.
What?
2008.
Hey guys, I want to show something. I know this was a big deal, but I want to show something that someone in the chat pointed out.
What?
This is a producer from the OC.
Okay.
He's a producer. Let's scroll up.
Okay, he's worked on some sitcoms. It looks like some other shows.
Look at his name.
That's right, of course, Lucas George.
What? The fuck?
Look at him. And it's like if you took all of George's hair,
Yes.
you concentrated it right around the mouth.
Yes.
Right. He almost looks like someone tried to make a robot of me.
Yes.
Here's Tate Donovan, by the way. Tate Donovan, who plays Marissa's dad.
And Patrick must love him.
Because he's a snack.
He is a snackaroony.
He's both a snack and a dream.
I mean, look, take me out to the ball game because that guy, he's a crackerjack. Okay, you can buy me some peanuts and snack crackerjacks.
Yeah.
How far do I need to reach inside for the prize? You know?
Oh, he can. Oh, I'll let him do some damages.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on. Here's Amanda Raihetti, who came out of the first season of the OC and was on every Fox clone of the OC. She was on North Shore, and then she was on Reunion. Do you remember Reunion?
We're watching
Yes.
second episode of this.
And we're watching the second episode.
George Lucas is not in this episode at all.
But we are going to see the Ooh What You Said. Ooh, what you said. Is this scene?
I'll also say
do those women shoot each other? Ooh, what you said. Ooh, Klosterman. Look at.
we have not really lost viewers. We're still
Ooh,
going
what you
strong.
said. Ooh, when you only meant well. Said, call me what you said. Ooh,
George,
but it's all for the best. You know it is. Ooh, what you said. Ooh, when you only meant
You gotta just
well.
let him go sometimes,
Tell me
David.
what you said, what you said. Ooh, but it's all for the best.
George,
Are they
going
gonna shoot each other?
Audition, Logan Marshall Green. I feel like he would have auditioned for Anakin or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know those two guys, but I'm familiar with the color green because we used to use that to make all the scenes in Star Wars.
I think you actually used blue.
I think I did see him, and I was under the impression that he was part man, part green screen. And when I realized he was just a guy with the word green as a name, I felt like I'd been the audition had been booked under false pretenses. I thought, well, you could stand behind the other actors, and we could put the effects on you.
I looked up Logan Marshall Green, and it says he was once considered for the role of Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
But that
Wow.
seems to be his closest brush with anything involving
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah. Well, it rhymes, which is just like all the Star Wars movies rhyme.
It's poetry.
Oh, but wait, if you go to his OC Wikipedia page.
Okay, he's got an OC Wikipedia page. All right.
Oh wait, now it's not coming up. When you Google it, it also has a link to how Star Wars: The Clone Wars expanded our knowledge of the Force.
Of course it did.
Interesting.
We didn't know that much about the Force, and then we knew a little bit more.
Didn't do a Clone Wars.
It's a magical energy that goes everywhere.
May I have an
Here he is, though.
May I have an
It's funny. No one's ever pointed out that Anakin, and I wrote this, that he talks about sand and what he doesn't like about sand.
Yes.
Everything he says about sand could be said of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what he doesn't like, is that the Force gets everywhere.
Oh no, there's a gun.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Ooh, what you said. Oh, and you only meant well to call it what you did, what you said. Ooh, but it's all for the best. You know it is what you said. Ooh, and you only meant well. So tell me, dippy do what you said. Ooh, what you said. Ooh, that's like a dum dum dum. Ooh, rum pum pum. Dum dum dum. What?
George,
Yeah.
did you say one of the lyrics was "Cummy Dippy Doo"?
Yes, he did.
No, call me dippy do. Call me.
Someone,
The lyrics to that song, this is a fun fact about that song.
Yeah.
The lyrics to it change every time anyone sings it or plays it or listens to it.
Yeah.
It's never the same.
It's like an ink blot.
yes.
Yeah. Everybody here's the song they want to hear when they listen into hide and seek. And that's why they called it that, because the song, you can't ever hear the real song. It's hiding from you and you're looking for it. You'll
Here
never
is
find
the,
it.
This is the funeral.
This is
of Caleb
the funeral of
Pickle.
George Lucas, right? Who died off screen on the OC.
You're saying within the OC.
Within the
They
world of the
decided
fictional
they
OC,
should
George
kill off
Lucas
George Lucas.
was killed off. When I refused to my rate for the previously on was so high that the makers of the OC were furious, and they
So
said,
there's-
"Fine, we're gonna play hardball. You're not gonna have an arc in season 3, season 4."
Not
as-
only
If you look at that scene, they were really laying the groundwork for the fact that Lucas was obsessed with prom. Season 3, Lucas was going to attend prom without a date. Season 4, he'd be the prom king. And
right.
when I wanted to be paid my full rate for the previously on. I wanted that to be like an episode. And I said it's not about the money. I just want you to give me what Landis gave me for Beverly Hills Cop 3. I'm not doing this for less than a Landis.
I heard that you wanted the opening credit sequence to just be replaced with an opening credit sequence for Revenge of the Sith with the crawl.
Yeah, to help promote the movie.
To help promote the movie. And so instead they had someone say off screen, it's too bad that George Lucas got hit by a city bus a couple days ago. And he's dead now.
George,
Yeah.
did you ask to be in the What You Say scene?
Yeah.
So that's why you want to watch that.
I wanted to be in the scene right before it, and I said, I've got the perfect line of dialogue.
Yeah.
We could just let me say it, and it'll set up the scene perfectly. And they were like, no. And I'm like, well, at least have one of these characters say it. They should say it. It's a perfect line of dialogue. It'll lighten the mood, but it'll also pay off immediately.
I'll say this. I'm going through the IMDb for the OC, every cast member, and I do not see any, except for George Lucas, immediately connect.
There's no one who never played in the Lucas pool?
I'm not seeing anybody, and I'm getting pretty far down.
Don't shit where you eat.
Right. You were like, I can't hire you guys now. I'm sorry, because I'm a cast member of the OC.
I'm a character on this show, so I'm not going to create some sort of J.J. Abrams, Christopher Nolan mind puzzle of I'm in the OC, but they're in the Star Wars, and how,
Right.
It would really take people. I didn't want anything in Star Wars that would take you out of it.
You have Chris Pratt was on the OC. Of course, he played Star-Lord. And then
it rhymes.
You have Jerry Ryan had an arc on the OC, and she was in Star Trek.
Robert Picardo also.
Robert Picardo did show up, but I'm not seeing. You're right, Rosalind Chow, another Star Trek.
This is a good question. Which OC cast member should have an arc on The Mandalorian?
Which OC cast member should have an arc on The Mandalorian?
What's his name? Cody.
Who?
Cody.
Cody.
I don't know who it means.
Who's Cody?
Isn't he one of these boys on the show?
I feel like Alan Dale as an Imperial officer is pretty good.
I mean, that's just Money in the Bank.
I think Peter Gallagher would be good as DJ's dad.
Yes, Pussy Willows, the famous Gallagher Pussy Willows wiggle.
Gallagher, you need to do very little to make that guy look alien. You just need to extend the eyebrows out like one more.
Don't you think if we brought back DJ that he could play his dad?
Yes. DJ from The Last Jedi, the Benicio.
You mean Benicio del Toro?
Yeah.
You think Peter Gallagher and Benicio del Toro are probably around the same age?
Right, about the same age. He could make me a brother.
They're really both like members of that sort of early '90s indie cinema boom.
Yeah, well, first of all, you don't know what species they are. They could reproduce in some weird way.
You know what?
Dads look the same age.
Here, he's 11 years older than Benicio.
Well,
but
Mandalorian. That's 20 years earlier.
Right.
That's true. So I guess you build that in too.
Right.
Yeah.
You built it in. It's grandfathered in.
Gallagher's great. I would love to see Gallagher in The Mandalorian. He's such an exceptional actor. I love him.
Hey, when's the last time we saw Gallagher on the big screen? Let's look it up.
Yeah.
The last time Gallagher was not. So you're saying no small screen allowed?
Big screen.
I'm allowing
big screen.
All right. Okay. So we're not counting. He's
big
in
screen
Palm
or big
Springs.
screen. If he's in a next Netflix original film, we'll count it.
Palm Springs. Oh no, that's small because that's coming on Hulu.
He was in a movie called After last year with Hero Fines.
Before that,
my buddy Steve found him.
Bad Mom's Christmas.
Am I mistaken? I believe the film After is a film of what started out as slash fiction about One Direction, much like how 50 Shades of Grey originally was Twilight
fan fiction, right?
I believe After is based around fan fiction of a girl writing about if two different members of One Direction.
You are absolutely right.
At the same time. Thank you.
It was a girl writing fan fiction about Harry Styles' relationships.
Yes.
I genuinely, when I first heard about 50 Shades of Grey, I thought it was slash fiction about my neckbeard.
I want to say this. Insanely, since
talk about Harry Styles.
Okay. You watch it.
Okay.
Cotner, what were you saying?
Not lost any viewers. We have in fact gained viewers.
What are we at right now?
Oh, good. They're here for the cream of it. They're here for the cream of the broadcast.
Right,
Give money to the protesters so that they don't get sick.
We got.
They might anyway, but go ahead and give money to try to keep them from getting sick.
Yeah,
we got. It's all going down right now at the what's it called?
At the Ooh What You Said Cafe and Bar Club.
This is the Bait Shop, which is the fictional.
Ooh.
It's like in Beverly Hills.
It reminds me of the Bronze on Buffy. Is this close to the Bronze? This looks like the Bronze.
Yes, it's like the Bronze, and I can't remember what the one in 90210 was called, but it's like basically means that a band could drop in and do a show, like have a little guest spot on the OC.
Boy,
George, you've quit me.
Send me the freak book or whatever the thing you're sending me.
Yeah, Wano. What's the update on George's smart book?
What's the tracking number? What's the tracking number on my Chrome head?
Let me check.
Wano, did you buy George Lucas a computer?
Okay, here's a fun fact. George Lucas fundamentally doesn't believe in laptops. He thinks they're stupid, and he calls the trackpad a fetish pad. It has made doing weekly live streams incredibly difficult. But
not at all. A few times, like 4 times in 8 hours, I've adjusted the angle. That is 1/10 of the naps that Patrick has had.
May I correct you? At multiple points, a light gust of wind has knocked over your phone.
Not anymore. I'm on a tripod now. Those are the old days.
Phone?
Yes, he is on a fucking
Listen
phone.
to me.
David's
like on a desktop or something.
David, George.
No.
George was on his phone for the entire 31 hour.
30 hours. So we
Do you know what? Yeah, watching movies being filmed on a galaxy near to me.
we cannot communicate with him. If we need to like plan something out about a guest who's going to appear, we can't communicate with him during the
It makes me that I don't need back channels. If you have something to say it to me. I'm not hiding anything from the viewers of this stream.
Strange that you do not own a laptop.
George Lucas of all people.
I don't believe in them. I think they're dumb.
So producer Patrick Cotner and I said, if we can find a laptop that costs under $200, will you accept it? If we send
like a really cheap. My old roommate used to call them porn buddies.
Okay, well that's gross. Was this learned? I've heard about
that's not. Yeah, that's not going to sell it for me.
Okay. The point is, we found there were Memorial Day sales in which a lower tier HP, essentially web browser laptop, was suddenly only $200. So we placed the order, but it was back ordered over 2 weeks.
Will I get one before the end of our list?
That's the question. So let me do a little order status check right here.
Well, you've done.
Oh, this is exciting. No, let's make that a stretch goal.
Guys, this is just like the Zam Wessel scene.
Yes, this is.
Ooh, what you said. Is this the scene? Ooh, when you only went well. Oh, come here, what you said. Oh, but it's all for the past. You know it is. What you said. They should have played. That would have been more fun. They should have played Ooh, what you said at double speed for this shootout, and then it would play as more serious later when they do a callback to it.
The whole shootout is like this is kind of like the Force Awakens when there's the Han Solo and the gangsters are after him, the deal goes wrong, and there's
Ganja.
Yeah, you lost me. And so what year was this that we had a shooting in a public place, and this was probably considered really dramatic then, but now it's just like slice of life.
2005.
So what's the tracking look like?
Well, what are we at right now in terms of funding?
We should make it a stretch goal.
Yeah.
A stretch. What's the stretch goal?
The stretch goal
is that people check the order status.
I will tell you when the Chromebook is going to arrive at Skywalker Ranch.
We're at 31/20/69.
31.
All right. At 31/50/69, he'll check the order status. All you have to do is give a small donation to help the protesters have access to COVID-19 testing
great cause, and I will tell
treatment.
I will tell George when his Chromebook will arrive. This was the double-edged sword. Is like, we were able to get the Chromebook, a good one for a low price because of Memorial Day sales, but also it was apparently more back-ordered than any item I have ever purchased online.
It's the most purchased item in the history of items.
Yes, I mean, I feel like my baby Yoda came faster than this fucking thing.
Can we tell David about our the big change in our life that started today?
Yes.
I don't even remember, but please tell me.
The new website.
David,
how about this? Since you won't violate your ethics, will you at least get The Atlantic to do a feature about the website arlis.me?
Arlis.me. It's a new website, and the kids love it. This is real.
I know.
Anyone can go to this website.
Yeah, this is a public service. Now, I know this isn't as grandiose as an oopsie daisy from one of Trump's generals.
So,
but can the Atlantic publish this article?
My name, or I can turn it into like.
Okay, watch. Let's move slowly so he can see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
So, David, we've typed your name in, right?
That's my name.
The gray box below, right?
Yeah.
Now, from here, we have many options. First,
we have a lot of options.
Let's click more Arlis. So this is taking the I's in your names.
Now, will it always do the same thing? If you click less Arlis than more Arlis, will it be the same way, or will it?
No, because look, this is right. Because Sysims, but then the Darlis vid, it's different. It runs off
Darlis vid Sysims. Darlis vid Sysims.
Right.
Do it again. Do it again.
Go back. Okay.
Darlis vid Sysims. Okay, so that's the same.
So now, David, we have two different toggles here. One for business, one for sports.
Oh, I see.
South poles of Arlis's life.
Right.
And we have to say, David, on a scale from 1 to 4, how sports are you and how business are you? Now, I've heard you are a big money monster and you also love basketball. These are things
I was going to say, I like them both. So give me a 2 on each.
Okay, ready?
Ooh,
one at a time. One
reasonable.
at a time so we can see.
One at a time.
Okay, so now one. Copyright symbol. $, $signs. Okay, now let's add one sports.
Oh, a little goal.
And now let's add a second sport. There we
go.
go.
Oh, wow. All right, so my name is now Beer Goal.
Yes.
Registered trademark.
Yes.
I guess that's just an L.
That's an L.
Golf.
Well, I think
it's got to be reasonable.
But if we
if you want that L, if you want to be more business or more sports, then you get rid of that L.
But the only thing it would make it into is a pound sign.
No, it might make it into a sports thing.
Yes.
Well, the pound sign holds some meaning to me because I grew up in Britain.
What?
Ooh. Ooh, what you said.
Who made this thing? Do you guys make it?
We did not.
No, it was made in honor of the work we've been doing.
There you go. There you go.
And that is your Arliss Extreme name.
Completely maxed out. That's just the most Arliss the name could possibly be.
Right.
You cannot get any more Arliss than that. Agreed.
There's multiple golfing things in there, but there's also a hockey stick.
Yeah, the hockey stick is the L, I believe.
Right.
Remember the L that you were talking about before? Well, it's gone. It's a hockey stick now.
Patrick, can you refresh the donations?
Yes. Hang on.
And then I'm going to suggest something very crazy.
No more episodes of the OC tonight.
No, we're done with season 2. What more could we cover?
Oh,
there's 2 more seasons. We can watch seasons 3 and 4 tonight.
Not watching them tonight.
31, 20, 69.
31, 20. We're at the same number. We need to hit 31, 50. Okay.
For what?
For me to reveal when George Lucas's Chromebook will be arriving.
And here's the thing. I want to say this.
Yeah.
Right now, we're living in the present moment, right?
Yes.
And last week is making this week look like a bunch of chumps.
It is. And it's a shame because the world is only getting worse by the week. Now, can I throw something out? Here's an activity I want us to do. And maybe this act of bravery will encourage some to donate. Patrick, I want you to pull back up Arliss.me. And I know this feels like the kind of thing we should save for the 7th and final week of our Arliss Watchathon, but fuck it. We're doing it right now. Patrick,
gonna do it live?
I want you to type in the name Arliss Michaels.
Whoa.
Oh no, this is going to be like the end of the movie War Games.
Yes. Now, does it allow you to make the name Arliss Michaels any more Arliss? There we go. And now we're going to take it all the way, but we have to alternate one at a time.
Yes.
One toggle
Alternate.
to $. Okay.
One toggle.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's process this for a moment. Okay, looks good. Looks pretty good. Got the euro in there. Okay. Now, Patrick,
here's my suggestion for this site. I'm gonna reach out to the guy tonight.
What?
I think first toggle on the $sign should automatically make any S's
dollars.
I agree
because that's
the least Arliss you can get and still be Arliss-y.
I also think when we make something more Arliss, we have to make sure it makes it $signs.
I think here's my pitch. I think when you hit the more Arliss button, the S's turn into $signs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's your automatic. That's your ground floor.
Yeah.
Is there a way when you make something more Arliss, then when you click less Arliss, it turns the $signs into cents signs? So you can't get back to it. Once you make yourself more Arliss, you don't go back to your name.
Right.
You go back to cents instead of $signs.
Yeah. Pitch, but let's toggle it up to one more for sports.
David, this is in beta right now. We're testing.
Wow, and look at what a difference that makes. We have a golfer, a golf flag, and a goal.
Wow.
It's still some of those L's in there. Those L's, they sure do give you trouble, don't they?
Yes.
How much time in this 7+ hour live stream has been devoted to you tweaking around with this website?
This is what's crazy.
Very little, because it takes care of it for itself. Oh, is Peter Gallagher about to shoot his son? Ooh, what you said. Is that what
That would
happened?
be a twist.
The last 3 weeks in a row, we had to do this manually. Someone would submit a name and we'd go, how do we do it? We would
How do we do it?
Like Sully, we would eyeball it and go,
You'd have to
I don't
eyeball it
know,
like Sully.
maybe you put a pound in there. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, this.
We'd go back and forth.
Right.
All right, you
Now-
ready?
Yes.
See, that's a big update.
Wow. Now we added
Wow.
some real dollar signs. Now, there's still too many S's for comfort here, but okay, let's add a little more sport.
Wow.
See, I'm more pro. 'Cause the sports gets rid of some of the fun business stuff.
Well, no, don't.
That's what the toggle is for.
Right. Okay, and now let's add a little more sports. Okay, and now let's add a little more business.
Wait, I just want to point out what the H is for David in case.
Oh, it's a filing cabinet. In the world of Arliss, because he works in an office, the H is a filing cabinet.
Or
Someone put in so much work into this.
Or it's a half full glass of whiskey, because with
or
Arliss, it's sometimes work and sometimes play.
I just want to
Or-
point out that sometimes the business thing turns A's into an A with 2 lines through it, which
Yes.
is the symbol of the Argentinian currency or something.
Yeah.
It's incredibly obscure. Like, is Arliss frequently dealing with Argentinian currency?
What can I say, David? It's a very advanced website.
Ever hear of a little thing called the Olympics?
Yes.
drop the. It's cleaner.
Yes. Okay. Let's hit those final toggles.
Drop the. It's cleaner is a funny line. Now that I think
Now
about
we're
it.
at
Because it has
double
2 thes. The sentence itself has too many thes, it
Yes.
feels like.
And yet it's a very clean sentence.
Wow.
It's pretty
Wow.
clean.
So this is just gobbledygook. This is nonsense.
That's
David.
Arliss.
Stop it.
That's like Arliss to the max.
Yes. Now let's copy paste that.
So Arliss to the max is essentially just golfing and money.
This is like Arliss on HBOmax. Yes, that's what most of this show is about. Now wait, Patrick, go back to the window.
Okay.
I want you to take.
That's the opposite of a Melissa Etheridge song.
I want you to take David's suggestion.
No, it's not. It's kind of the same.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
I want you to
Someone please this week record a new version of Come to My Window
Yes.
called Go Back to the Window. Don't change any other lyrics
Yes.
and post it on your YouTube channel as one of those YouTube songs where people sing songs.
Now I want to, because he is our guest and he so graciously decided to stay here for 2 full episodes of the OC.
Yeah.
I want you to take David's suggestion and toggle back the sports one by one until we're left with just business. Toggle it again, baby. Toggle it again.
Oh, no change.
One more time.
All right, so that's just
Now,
a business
hang on.
harlot.
No,
Okay.
don't make it less Arliss. That's sacrilege.
Could.
I just wanted to see what it would look like.
Yeah, I want to see it too. Come on.
Do it very briefly.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. What's that M with a strike through it?
That is a. Hang on one second.
Look it up.
That is a mill.
It's a
Called
meal.
the MILL.
It's a meal.
Okay. So does that suggest? That just suggests a
It's a
million.
It's for a milli. No, it's a currency. Now,
No, I know what it is. It's 1/1000th of a dollar.
Oh,
That's
but
what
it
a
says
million.
it's from the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
How would you know that?
That's where we filmed
Why
some
would
of the
you-
Star Wars.
Thanks, George.
You filmed most of the Star Wars, I would say.
Some.
The majority. What are you drinking there, Watto?
Here's
I didn't film the Ewok. I filmed the Ewok movies just right over there. David. I don't know if you can see because it's dark. I filmed the Ewok movies right there.
And a reminder,
I
it's
filmed.
7:46 p.m.
yes.
Yeah, but during a curfew.
And they're-
And
Watto, you never told me to drink.
I'll tell you what I'm drinking. We all know that George has a buddy, Steve, who is a great filmmaker, right?
Oscar winning.
Well,
I have an Oscar too. Don't think that makes me feel bad.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just clarifying.
But here's the thing that Watto has gotten really.
That's for every movie I ever did. That means every movie I did got an Oscar.
Fair enough.
Here's the thing that Watto has gotten really into in the last 2 weeks of quarantine. Okay.
Quarantine.
Here's what Watto's gotten into. It is a spirit developed and sold by a different Oscar-winning filmmaker named Steve.
Okay. A spirit developed and sold by a different Oscar winner. So Steve McQueen, Steve
Soderbergh.
Yes. Steven Soderbergh sells a spirit that he discovered when he was filming the Che movies and became so obsessed with it. He was like, I need to figure out how to import this back to the United States. And when that proved difficult, he started a company, and for the last 10 years has produced this and sold it, distributed it across the world.
It's a Bolivian cocktail.
Hey, Watto, what was your laptop goal?
My it was 50, whatever it was. 30.
Okay, we're at 32:20, so let's do it now before George comes back.
Okay, yes. It will arrive June 16th. Not until not even, there will be 3 live streams that pass before.
No, that's not right.
June 16th is just a little more than a week away.
No, I'm saying in the time between when the order was placed.
Okay, stop talking about it.
Yes. But I'm telling you, this Steven Soderbergh, Singani 63.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh,
is it like a rum or is it like a tequila?
I guess it's technically classified as a brandy.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of being reductive. And I'm doing it right now as a mixer. It's why I went off camera twice, because I poured a little heavy the first time, so I added some lime juice the second time. But it worked as just a sort of sipping spirit over ice. It works as a mixer, and I will say this: no hangover, goes down easily. Very helpful in a time where it is very difficult to fall asleep. Where it is.
And let me say this:
to turn
no hangover. Right. No hangover, then no hangover part 2 or 3, and that means probably no Joker.
That's true.
Why so serious?
Why so serious?
Wait, David.
In all seriousness, David, I haven't tried the spirit that Watto's drinking, but any careful viewer of the OC knows that George Lucas drinks seltzer.
He does love a seltzer. It's true. There's a whole line of dialogue about it.
The whole line of dialogue. I did a solid 20 minutes on that, and they just reduced it into one line because they had to, it's a network show.
Yeah,
if this had been a streaming show,
that would have been its own show.
All of my dialogue.
Yeah,
and I suggested to them maybe we have a movie here.
Drinking seltzer that you would have had a whole spin-off.
Yes.
Not a spin-off. I was hoping that they would release it theatrically as a feature.
Right.
Because I agree with you. I said, we have an A plot, a B plot, a C plot. Why not just have this scene be a standalone film?
Yes.
Kind of like a Louis Malle kind of, like we're really going for My Dinner with Andre kind of feeling.
With George.
Right? Don't you think? Don't you think that scene is basically like, let's show them how it's done, boys?
Yes.
Sorry, Wallace Shawn. Sorry, Wally Shawn. Sorry, Andre Gregory. Let old George show you how it's done.
I'm trying to see what's going on in the OC. But I guess Kirsten's going to rehab. What were you going to say, Pat?
Now, David, I forgot to ask Jonathan Braylock this earlier, but I feel like I could probably ask you.
You missed Braylock, who had a very handsome goatee.
That's true.
He's a good
David,
good looking
guy.
A
really important question. We ask a lot of our guests.
Yeah.
Were you ever on Herald Night?
Okay.
Yeah. We're ever on Herald Night.
You were on the UCB podcast network, but
I was.
Did that put you on Herald Night?
You ever on
Herald Night?
I was never on Herald Night. No.
Yippee.
I've attended a Herald Night or two in my time.
Yippee.
George, it's amazing. You're Benjamin Buttoning as the day goes on.
Yes.
Because the show takes me back to my glory days. when I was doing my best work.
You know,
Oh, no, what were you going to say?
I worked at the worked at the UCB for how long was it, Watto? A couple years at least.
Podcast Network.
Why would Watto know?
George was a guest. Ask George.
Yeah, George was on the show multiple times, and they were always nudging me. They were like, "Set up your UCB profile because you can have a profile, you know,
Very helpful.
your little picture and your little bio." And I always forgot to do it. I missed my
Me
chance.
too. I don't think Watto and I ever did it either, and we did the George Lucas talk show there for 7 years.
I did it.
Well, good on you.
No, there's no George Lucas profile, right?
No, there's a Patrick profile.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He did it for
Right.
himself.
Oh, okay. Well,
Can
you
I
should have done it for it's us on the show. You should have done it for us.
Can I go back like 5 topics in
Yeah.
conversation?
Oh, like a prequel? Yes, of course.
Can I do a little prequel to something we talked about that I now just thought of a joke for?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I like my streaming TV series like I like my steaks.
Yeah.
Don't cut the fat.
What?
You were talking about how if the
Like a fatty.
episode of the OC was on a streaming series, they would have kept in 15 minutes of him riffing about seltzer.
Are you saying that George Bullfrog Lucas was looking a little fat on the
No,
OC?
I'm saying that streaming TV series are much like a low-quality steak, where they leave as much fat on as possible.
There's no question.
Wow. You know what? That was worth it.
I don't
All right,
know.
so here I believe.
Oh, of course, you didn't like it.
Go on.
What, George?
I don't get it.
I said, of course you didn't like it because I can't say it. I can't say it.
You can't say it.
Okay.
David, what were you going to say? What were you going to say, David?
I'll say the alt, which is you didn't like it because it wasn't a nap or dinner time.
Oh, that's Patrick.
But that's the alt. I'll tell you the regular version if we get to 4,000.
I don't get it either. I think we're at the point where logic has gone out the window. David, what are you going to say?
I don't want to get him. I don't want to come close to the phone, so it's a secret. I don't want to get you in trouble at work when we're talking about streaming series having too much fat.
Okay, yeah.
They have too many episodes.
Yeah, let's not do
too
that.
many episodes.
Yeah, let's
They
avoid
have
that.
too many
topic,
episodes.
George.
Everyone knows that.
Let's
What do they
avoid
care?
that topic,
No,
George.
what do they care?
And let's say also that when George Lucas says get close to the phone, it seems like an old man being punch drunk, except in this case, he only has a fucking phone because he refuses to own a laptop, and apparently it takes 27 days for a Chromebook to get delivered to Skywalker Ranch.
Did we reach the stretch goal?
Yeah, but you can't hear the date.
You don't know when it's arriving.
What's the date?
We're not telling you.
You were away from
I want to point out there are now about 4 minutes left in this episode, and we are about to get to
what you said.
Hey, hold
when
it.
I see that gun.
Don't do it until it happens. Don't
Okay, so
blow
we got
It's happening. He picked up the gun.
Ryan is on his way to confront Trey because he learned that Trey assaulted Marissa in a drunken stupor. He attacked her on the beach.
Ray, like in Star Wars.
Yes.
Yes, and so Ryan is now angry.
Ryan is in Star
He's gonna
Wars?
Punch his brother. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just describing.
You said
the plot
Ray
of this.
and Ryan. You said Ray and Ryan.
Ryan
The
is
main
Ryan.
character. This is the Last Jedi. So the main character from the Last Jedi and the writer director of the Last Jedi are having a fight.
Oh no!
And here's Upgrade throwing out some trash.
Yeah.
Ryan pulling
Ooh,
up.
what you said.
They're gonna wail on each other, but then there's the gun. You see, there's Chekhov's gun, which was introduced at some point.
That's a Star Trek reference. Please don't talk about Star Trek on this stream.
Yes, of course. Pavel Chekhov of Star Trek was the one who coined that dramatic trope.
Yeah, if he in whatever they do in their spaceships.
All right, so he's pointing the gun at Ryan. Ryan's like, "Okay, all right, you got a gun. I give up."
Now they're fighting.
He's
like, "I hate you! I hate you!" They should keep saying it to each other. "I hate you!"
You were my brother, Ray.
I hate you, Ray.
Right.
They could get Alec Guinness. They should have gotten Alec Guinness.
Guys, oh my god.
They could have got the audio of Alec Guinness. Ray.
Chris,
I hate you.
yes.
I hate you.
Oh no.
I hate you.
Right.
Oh.
Oh no.
What could she do? She, her lover Ryan.
Oh, slow-mo. Oh no. Oh, he's gonna Louis C.K. him.
What? Patrick, please.
Hit him with a phone.
Patrick, you're an employee of
Ooh, when you only
Hit
met,
him with a
well,
phone.
they call me Dippy Doo. What you say? Ooh, when it's all for the best, you know it is. What you say? Ooh, when you only meant well, you said you call me Dippy Doo. What you say? Ooh, what did you say? Ooh, what the cup up, bobby dabby up, up, rum, dabby up, bobby dabby dum. Ooh, what you said? Ooh, when you only meant well, then call me Dippy Doo. What you said? Ooh, what did you say? You know it is. Ooh, what you said? Ooh, when you only meant well, then call me Dippy Doo. What you said? I thought that was what you said. And then it's done. We don't get any more OC for another season.
That's you're gonna have to wait like 3 whole months.
Not on HBO Max. Not on HBO Max. You can watch it right away.
Logan Marshall Green survives.
I should have let them bring me back as a Force Ghost. I could still go to prom as a Force Ghost on
It
this.
only settled up accounts.
Can you?
If they were only willing to pay me to be in the previously. Promotional consideration by the Ford Motor Company. You know, they once aired my buddy Steve's movie Schindler's List without commercial interruption on NBC. And they said, Schindler's List is brought to you by Ford Motor Company. And ain't it the truth?
Imagine
in
trying
more ways than one.
what we're doing right now to anybody. The
Well,
chain of
that's what I was gonna
logic
bring
you have
up.
to follow of like, okay, so it's George Lucas,
George Lucas and Watto.
and the film critic from the Atlantic.
I'm going for the Atlantic and a venerable TV comedy podcast producer and Marvel employee.
No, you are here as a journalist from the Atlantic.
No, I was talking about that.
No, but just the chain of they were watching the finale of season 2 of the OC because that was a stretch goal from watching the penultimate episode of season 2 because George Lucas is in that, and they were already live streaming watching season 4 of ARLI because previously they had done a 30-hour live stream to watch.
And then George,
movies.
And then when George, having said all that set up, saw a promotional consideration from the Ford Motor Company and tied it in to the anti-Semitism of Henry Ford.
Henry Ford, yes.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you about the Atlantic. It's a monthly website. How does that work?
It's a monthly.
When does it come out? First of the month, last of the month?
It's actually good. I mean, I don't know if there's. It's always just dated to the month.
But it is still a monthly website.
But it's also a website with a lot of online writing as well. That's not in the print edition.
Can
But
I ask,
every month, every month though.
There's a monthly print edition, although I believe we do like 10 or 11 issues. I think there's a couple. We double
There's
up.
a month missing. There's a month or two missing there, David.
Right.
can I ask
Which month? Which month?
Usually, I think the double is January, February.
Oh, so you do a double, so
George,
it counts for the 2 months.
George,
Yeah.
let Watto ask a question.
Okay.
David?
Yes. What is it?
Do you remember the first time a piece of yours got published in the print edition of the Atlantic? Not online,
George, stop for
a
me.
hard copy. No, it wasn't a moment of significance for you?
No, I don't write for the print edition of the Atlantic.
Never?
Never have. Maybe will someday. I don't know.
Not
A whole
a
other
single-
thing.
You're telling me your review of Detective Pikachu did not make the print edition?
No, it's a sad to say.
So
David.
are you still waiting for the moment that they run one of your reviews within the print edition?
I would be very surprised if they did such a thing, but I would love to write.
Why?
What if you review Detective Pikachu?
I live and dream of there being a Detective Pikachu.
David, can I
Yeah.
pitch you an idea?
Yeah, sure.
Will you bring this Will you promise me before I pitch you this idea? Will you promise me that you'll bring this to your editors in good faith?
Please.
Sure.
Okay, you just promised that on a charity live stream, so it means something.
The word is bond.
Will you pitch them for the and say it's for the print edition because they owe you at this point?
They owe you.
They've kept you on the digital for so long, and the digital is better anyway. The digital is better anyway. That's where you want to be. You want to be digital.
George hates practical.
I hate practical. You don't want to be in the practical edition you call it the print edition. I call it the practical edition. Pitch them that you want to do a feature, a small feature on the arliss.me website, which is genuine news. No one else has this story. And say this will be good for the print edition. Because the digital people already have the hyperlinks. They already know how to go to it. But the print edition readers, they don't know about the website. So you genuinely would be doing them a service.
I'm gonna Slack a senior editor of the Atlantic, the Arliss website tomorrow.
It's a trend piece. This is the new hot website that all the kids are using.
Yeah.
And here's a headline, and you don't have to take this. This could just be a temp. But first Mattis, now this?
But
because let me tell you something. That is, I know clickbait. That is a good headline. If the Atlantic
yes.
put a headline that said first Mattis, now this, I would click it.
And Mattis is spelled.
Try not to stoop to that level.
Yeah, but Mattis, hang on. Wait, let's figure out how Mattis
is spelled with $2 signs.
Hang on, let's figure it out.
I think it would just be $1 sign, wouldn't it?
Yeah, do Mad Dog Mattis.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Oh, you want to do? Hang on, James. Mad Dog.
General, please. General James.
General.
Mattis. And now let's make it more Arliss.
General Arliss. Jarlis. Dogless.
What is Dogless?
Do you know, David? Do you know that 2 hours ago, Robert Wuhl was having a very earnest conversation with us
about like this moment in America? And
no, about so much, about Hollywood Nights, about Tom Hanks, about season 4 of Arliss. It was so many different things.
He was talking about actors and the process. Have you ever wondered why De Niro has the best monologues of any screen actor?
And now we are defacing the name of retired general.
We're Arliss. We're Arlissizing. We're Arlissizing our rights.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta go, guys. You gotta let me out of this.
Good night, David.
All right, wait a second. David, all of this was off the record.
All of it was off the record. This was on
off the record.
This was on
all
background.
this was off the record. On deep background.
Arliss.
Sorry.
All of this was
off the record.
Arliss, this is off the record.
Arliss, this is off the record.
Arliss, this is off the record.
He's gone.
Wow, and what's
gone.
It's been,
All right,
what's
let's
an
wrap this up.
afternoon, what's a day, what's an early evening, what's a late evening.
Yeah.
This is 8 hours. This is the longest we've streamed since the first stream.
What if we're gentlemen, what if we're slowly working our way back up to doing 30 hours just naturally? Like our bit by bit, by the time we get to season 7, what if season 7 lasts for 30 hours?
I want to say something that you said off the record. Because Watto's been sipping
off the record.
Some Soderbergh and lime juice. There was a conversation this week that was, we have to stop doing watch-alongs for TV shows. We cannot get stuck in a cycle of agreeing to do more and more. We can keep doing live streams, but we cannot commit ourselves to continually watching one show after another. in perpetuity.
We can't do it.
We can't do it.
Yeah. That's it.
How much should we raise, Patrick? How much should we raise?
We raised. Wait, I want to say while I'm looking this up, all of these streams are on YouTube. We're gonna post this tomorrow, hopefully, barring any crazy things.
Yes.
Tell your friends, post about it, retweet the tweets. Like, it really helps. We want people to see all this stuff, and we like raising a bunch of money.
All this stuff.
Arliss stuff. So we are at, I believe, what our final total probably will be is $3,220.69.
We fell short this week. It's still a good amount, though.
Can I say this?
Thank you to everybody.
Wait, I want to say one final thing. Is Paolo still the highest single contribution?
Yes.
Paolo
lies.
Yep. Paolo to the people.
Let me just say this. If some fat cat viewer
I see you out there.
of the George Lucas talk show.
I see you out there.
Meow,
Meow, meow, you fat cat.
Meow, meow, fat cat.
You make a contribution of $300, and not only will
$301.
$301, and not only will you single-handedly
301
guarantee that we outgrossed last week and got the single donation for an Arliss live stream, the single largest final fund total for an Arliss live stream. You will also get Patrick to draw a new character on his foot, and you will get a signed Arliss poster. And we'll get you a Watto cameo, and we'll get you a Colin Cosell walk-up thing. You get 3 Watto cameos. You get
also, if you'll donate $10,000 right now, Patrick will get both of those droids permanently tattooed on the soles of the feet.
$10,000.
$10,000.
But
$10,000.
But in the immediate, $300. You get 3 Watto videos of your choice. You get a poster signed by Robert Wuhl, Jim Turner, and Michael Boatman, maybe Sandra Oh.
And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, can't I just go to the HBO store and order one of those signed posters?
No.
No. You may not.
Nope.
And you have roughly 2 minutes to do this before we end the live stream. Patrick will keep refreshing for the next 2 minutes. If you're making the donation, tell us in the comments. But $300, you get the poster signed by the 3 gentlemen of Arliss, 3 Watto videos.
We did just get $25 more.
Hey,
it's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. It helps someone.
Thank you,
Sydney.
Sydney.
Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you,
Sydney.
Thank you, Sydney.
Guys, 2 more minutes. We're off at 11:09.
I have 11:09 right now. What time?
We're off at 11:11. Sorry.
11:11. 11:11. Perfect synchronicity.
1-1.
Unless we got a $300 one, and then we'll go until my foot's done.
Correct. So $300. We're asking for $300, and right now it's actually even less because someone donated $25.
Yeah, but then you won't get the poster.
No, because what was the previous amount? 200?
300.
Paolo donated 300, so $301.
You know what? If you want to give $300.01, it's yours.
$300, and
I don't think that'll be the sticking point, though.
$300 and a hay penny, and you get
God bless you
Watto videos. You get Patrick drawing another droid on his foot, and you get a poster signed by Boatman, Turner, and Wuhl, the 3 amigos.
Otherwise, 11:11, I end the stream and we don't say anything else. It just cuts off
abruptly. And there's 1 minute left now. And if you're in the process of making the donation, tell us in the live comments.
Tell us.
So we don't cut it off. Sometimes the transaction takes a little while to load. If
it's
you're
11:11.
donating,
gotta go.
Yeah.